It's time for high school football, presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network. The best Stark County football is heard right here all season long. Whether you're in a car, at home, or on the go, the action is live on Q92 and streaming on the Q92 Facebook page, X, and our YouTube channel. Now, let's take you live to the stadium and our broadcast team for tonight's kickoff on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Here they go! Touchdown!
These ideas in mind. And,
great minds think alike.
You talk about the parity between both these teams, and we could touch on it briefly now, but we're going to take a deeper dive into it. These two teams are a lot alike.
A lot alike. And let's just start with their head coaches. I mean, first-year head coaches in the Federal League, first-year head coaches in general. Coach Lino in his first year for Perry, Coach Parnell in his first year at McKinley, both former defensive coordinators at Division II state championship schools. Lino coming from Massillon, Parnell coming from Hoban. Both have a 3-1 record. So just with the coaches alone, there's so much parity.
And we'll get to a lot more of that later on in our countdown to kickoff. We do have some other business to get to on the Q92 Sports Network. It's a big week for high school football, and some of the matchups we got. We're going to take live looks in at the other games going on in the area as part of our Score 6. Green at Jackson. I think that's a good game.
Great game.
You're going to get an idea of – I think week 5 is – you really truly start to have an idea of what these teams are. They're starting to get into league play.
Yep.
And you really see the cream start to rise to the top, and you have a better understanding of where these teams are at.
Definitely. I mean, your first few games, you're playing teams from out of conference, teams from all over the state. You're trying to figure out your system, figure out your personnel. But by week 5, you know who your dudes are. You know what works. Now you're trying to fine-tune everything moving to the middle part of the season.
So we've got Green at Jackson, Minerva at St. Thomas Aquinas. Coach Slates has got the Lions rolling over there. Coach Henderson struggling a little bit with St. Thomas, and that's just the numbers game over there at St. Thomas Aquinas. What a lot of eyes are going to be on tonight, Hoover at Louisville. Two teams undefeated. Boy, that's going to be a good one.
Big game.
That's going to be a big one. Canton South at Northwest. Canton Central Catholic at Alliance is on our sister station, AM 1310 WDPN. And then another one where you really don't know what the Massillon Tigers are or who they are because they've played so many teams from out of the state. Now they
played some really good teams from out of state.
And now they've got probably one of, if not the best team in the state of Ohio in Lakewood St. Ed's.
Definitely. That team is loaded with talent. They have size all over the place, huge receivers, big offensive line. Not as big as a couple years ago, but big offensive line. The quarterback is playing great. So a lot of talent on that St. Ed's team.
So we're going to step away and take a break, and then we'll take a live look at some of the games that we have, all the games we have on the Q92 Sports Network here tonight. This is high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com. An official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Lilyfield Lane Flowers and Gifts, located at 2830 Cleveland Avenue South, is your go-to florist for every occasion: homecoming, prom, weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, and memorials. Stop in and take a look at our unique gifts and beautiful custom floral arrangements. We deliver in the Stark County area. Give us a call today at 330-754-6998 and mention Q92 to receive a 20% discount. Looking for quality glass and mirror work you can trust? At Cardinal Glass and Mirror in Canton, we handle it all: residential, commercial, and industrial. From window replacements to custom glass and custom mirrors, we've got you covered. We're a small, locally owned business, and we live by one promise: if we won't put it in our home, we won't put it in yours. Call today, 330-478-0075. Visit us online at cardinalglassmirror.com or stop by at 1857 Whipple Avenue Northwest in Canton.
Are you looking to add beauty, privacy, and year-round greenery to your property? Smith Evergreen Nursery is a family-owned local grower of premium evergreens, perfect for privacy screens, windbreaks, and stunning landscaping. They grow what they sell, so you get healthy, long-lasting trees straight from the source. Call 330-575-2479, visit SmithEvergreen.com, or find Smith Evergreen Nursery on Facebook. Smith Evergreen Nursery, farm to yard.
You're listening to High School Football, presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Wakefield Stadium. Ryan Keller and Antonio Hall with you as we get you ready for kickoff between Massillon Perry and the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. First, we're going to jump around and check out some of the other games going on in the area today and check in with the broadcast teams. Hold on, you got to push that way.
I'll figure it out.
Having some window issue here in the press box. All right, let's head over to Northwest, where Mike Dixon has the call between Canton South and Northwest.
It's week 5, and we're live from Canal Fulton at Northwest High School, home of the Northwest Indians. I'm Mike Dixon alongside Ryan Rowland. Tonight, the 1-3 Wildcats from Canton South come to town to take on the 2-1 Northwest Indians. Canton South sits at 1-3 on the season after dropping 3 in a row since winning their season opener against Field. The Wildcats come to Northwest after dropping a week 4 game 35-14 to Manchester. Leading the way for the Wildcats is QB Nolan Bonner. Wide receiver Jamarcus Jones leads the offense for Canton South. Northwest is coming off a thriller in week 4, beating Triway on a game-winning 37-yard field goal as time expired by Ben Shantz. The Indians are 2-1 with wins over Marlington and Triway, and their only loss coming in week 3 to Louisville, 10-3. Northwest is a run-heavy team with a trio of backs, starting with QB Braden Venables, Joey Medora running back, and Connor Stevenson also at running back, are part of this run-heavy attack to sustain long drives. Week 5 is set, and it's here on Q92 Sports Network, presented by Sarshone Auto Group. Canton South, Northwest are set to kick off at 7 p.m. Once again, I'm Mike Dixon and Ryan Rowland.
Thank you, Mike. Next, we're going to send it over to St. Thomas Aquinas. Christian Bigglesworth has the call between Minerva Lions and the St. Thomas Aquinas Knights.
Christian Bigglesworth here for Q92 Sports, coming to you live tonight from St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Louisville, where tonight the Knights will be trying to get their first win of the season, and they'll be up against one of the Cinderella stories of the 2025 high school football season, the 3-1 Minerva Lions. You heard me right. The 3-1 Minerva Lions riding a 3-game winning streak with convincing wins over Sandy Valley, Springfield, and Crestwood. Head coach Zach Slates has come over from Perry and instilled his mentality on this team. And they've been running the ball and running it well this season, with sophomore running back Timothy Kirkpatrick, who's averaging 175 yards rushing per game with 4 total rushing touchdowns so far. The Minerva Lions are playing a physical brand of football this season, and it's leading to one of their most successful seasons in recent history. The St. Thomas Aquinas Knights, unfortunately, are off to an 0-4 start this season and searching for answers, especially offensively. Numbers are an issue for the Knights, who don't even have 30 players on their team and only one senior among those. They'll look to get their offense going tonight by trying to get the ball into the hands of their exciting junior wide receiver, Jameer Jenkins. They'll also hope for better quarterback play from junior Anthony Powell and freshman Jamari Brisker, who will get time. It's Minerva and St. Thomas Aquinas, and you can hear it all right here at 7 o'clock on the Q92 Sports Network.
Thank you, Christian. We're going to step away and take a break. When we come back, we are going to check out Green Jackson and what a lot of people consider the game of the week, Hoover and Louisville. We're going to step away. It's countdown to kickoff between Perry and McKinley here at Wakefield Stadium in Perry. This is high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Hey, sports fans, want the latest local sports news, game photos, coach and player interviews, and live play-by-play coverage? Then follow Q92 Sports on social media now. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Catch the highlights, relive the moments, and stay connected to your hometown teams. Q92 Sports, your home for everything local sports. Real teams, real action, real coverage. Follow Q92 Sports on social media.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency is a locally woman-owned travel agency helping you see the world. Lisa books any and all types of travel, honeymoons, all-inclusive, cruises, Disney, along with bachelor and bachelorette trips and destination weddings with low deposit, and you set your monthly payments. Mention Q92 to get $50 on board cruise, credit, cabin, or $150 off your non-canceled vacation or honeymoon. Call 330-428-0610. Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency. If you don't go, you won't know.
Start your day right at Judy's Family Restaurant, your new favorite spot for home-style breakfast and friendly faces. We're locally owned and operated with a team that brings you years of experience to every plate. Whether you're craving fluffy pancakes, sizzling bacon, or a hot cup of coffee, we've got you covered. Come taste the difference at Judy's Family Restaurant. Call 234-360-3096 and follow us on Facebook for daily specials and updates. Judy's, where breakfast feels like home.
This is head coach Spencer Lino from the Perry Panthers. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
Welcome back to Wakefield Stadium as we get you ready for kickoff between McKinley and Perry. We got a couple more games to get to on the Q92 Sports Network tonight. First, we're going to send it to Jackson, where the Green Bulldogs come into town to take on the Polar Bears. Matt Corrali has the call from Jackson.
It's that time of year for high school football in Ohio. The competition gets tuned up as conference games are now in full swing. And there may not be a tougher one in the state to compete in than the Federal League, as 2 teams that are looking to gain some ground in the standings will collide tonight. On one hand, you have the Jackson Polar Bears, who are 2-2 and coming off a dominating 33-6 win against Mayfield at home last week. A big reason why is because of senior running back Corey Jacobs, as after losing starting tailback Chase Marr to injury, the former wide receiver is now RB1 and playing like it. He has back-to-back 100-plus yard games on the ground with 2 touchdowns. On the other sideline is the Green Bulldogs, who come off a heartbreaking loss to the unbeaten Hoover Vikings at home, 27-21 in Week 4. Quarterback Tyson Hunka had 3 touchdowns to 3 different receivers, but faced a 21-0 first half deficit and came up just short in the final moments to complete the comeback against the Vikes. Mark Geis's men come into the contest at 1-3 as a sense of urgency is now within this Bulldogs team, trying to get things back on track with a much-needed road win. Green won this matchup a year ago thanks to a go-ahead touchdown from Hunka and the Bulldogs with 26 seconds left. Find out if the 2025 edition of these Federal League foes will have the same flair for the dramatic as 2024, with Robert Coleman and I streaming live right here on Q92 Radio's YouTube channel. From Robert Fife Stadium in Jackson, Matt Corrali, the Q92 Sports Network.
Thanks, Matt. Next, we're going to head to Louisville. This is a big one. The Hoover Vikings and the Louisville Leopards. Jay Wilhelm is there. Let's hear what he has to say.
Good evening, everyone. We are officially at the halfway point of this 2025 high school football regular season on the Q92 Sports Network, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group. I'm here live in Louisville as we have an absolute heavyweight bout for you here tonight. The 4-0 Louisville Leopards play host to their neighbors, also sitting at 4-0, the North Canton Hoover Vikings. This is a big one. North Canton enters tonight after a last-second survival at Green last week in their Federal League opener by a score of 27-21. After their first road game of the season last week and their first true test of the season, this Hoover team will look to ride the momentum behind quarterback John Collins and do-it-all senior Jack Andes. The Louisville Leopards easily handled Marlington last week, 45-7, to set up this matchup of undefeated teams. In weeks 1 through 3, they've defeated New Philadelphia, Alliance, and Northwest. Make no mistake, folks, this is a big-time matchup against 2 very good, very well-coached teams, and you can catch it on Q92radiosports.com as myself and my broadcast partner, Mike Voorhees, will have the call for you, with kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. Live from Louisville, I'm Jay Wilhelm with the Q92 Sports Network.
Thanks, Jay. We're going to step away once again, and then when we come back, we'll get our 2 games that are on our sister station, AM 1310 WDPN, and on Q92, 92.5 FM. We will preview both of them when we come back. It's countdown to kickoff here at Wakefield Stadium in Perry when we get ready for the McKinley Bulldogs and the Perry Panthers. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
Missed the big game? Don't worry, Q92 has you covered. Check out our SoundCloud page where you can relive every exciting moment. From high school football, basketball, baseball, and softball to Mount Union football and basketball, we've got it all. That's every broadcast from this season, and even classics going all the way back to 2016. Follow Q92 Radio on SoundCloud and never miss a play, a call, or the thrill of the game. Q92 Radio on SoundCloud, your home for every game, every season.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important benefits that we can offer at Friends and Family Credit Union. Welcome to Family Secure Checking. It offers unrivaled security to protect your everyday finances and purchases, as well as comprehensive identity theft protection and reimbursement coverage, credit file monitoring, benefits for travel, shopping rewards, and cell phone protection that includes repair or replacement for up to 4 phones on your cell phone plan. It's time to bring a friend into the family.
This is head coach Renzi Parnell from the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And we are back at Wakefield Stadium getting you ready for action. 3-1 McKinley, 3-1 Perry. But first, let's check in with Sam Perquin. He is at Karis Stadium at the University of Mount Union for Canton Central Catholic and the Alliance Aviators. Let's see. Let's check in with Sam Perquin.
Tonight here at the University of Mount Union, the Shannon Central Catholic Crusaders will pay a visit to take on the Alliance Aviators in Week 5 high school football action. The Crusaders come in still looking for their first win here in 2025. Losses to Perry, Mogador, Orrville, and Salem. 3 out of those first 4 were at home. For the Aviators of Alliance, only one setback to a very good Louisville team Week 2. That was a 30-13 ball game. In between that, they beat Parma Padua Franciscan, they beat Streetsboro, and they beat Ellett. All 3 of those games were on the road. So the site is Mount Union tonight. It's going to be a beautiful night for football. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s. Caleb Norick and myself will bring you the play-by-play tonight coming up here at 7 o'clock. For Alliance, well, they are a very talented high school football team. Just the names of J.R. Jackson, Tajay Nicholson, Ravon Hawkins, Johnny Belts, Cam Burton, Cam Brisker, the list goes on and on. The Crusaders still kind of looking for an identity. They've had injuries at quarterback. Third string quarterback will go tonight for the guys in green. Look for running back Kenny Stroud to have a big game. He is about 5'10", 185 pounds, only a sophomore, but he can run the football. Will the Aviators pick up another win at home, or will the Crusaders rise up and pick up their first win of the season? 7 o'clock kick tonight right here on 1310 WDPN, Canton Central Catholic and Alliance. Sam Berkwin for AM 1310 WDPN and the Q90 Sports Radio Network.
Thank you, Sam. Finally, our game of the week on Q92, 92.5. You can listen to it on your radio, or you can listen to it on YouTube, Facebook, X. It's all over the place. Lakewood St. Ed's comes in to take on the Massillon Tigers. Let's check in with Clint Scroggs.
The Massillon Tigers host the St. Edward Eagles in one of the top games in the state. The Eagles went to 4-0 with a 28-14 win over Cleveland Glenville last Friday. Brandon White ran for 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns to bring St. Ed's back from a deficit. White ran for more than 2,000 yards as a sophomore, but missed last year with a knee injury. He had 171 yards and 27 carries, including 11 for 88 in the final stanza. He also caught 2 passes for 23 yards. The second quarter fumble was returned for a touchdown by Glenville, allowing them to lead into the third quarter. Senior receiver Zach Hackelman is headed to Toledo. He's the school's all-time leader in receptions. The Eagles defense features North Carolina recruit Mason Wilhelm, a 290-pound tackle. They also have DBs who've committed to Michigan State, Miami of Ohio, and Western Michigan. Massillon got back in the win column with a 35-0 romp over Bennett of Buffalo, New York. Tigers scored 4 second-quarter touchdowns to blow it open. The entire second half was played with a running clock. Xavier Owens ran 9 times for 91 yards with several carries out of the Wildcat formation. Backup quarterbacks Rasmus Haynes and Eli Moore combined to go 8 of 11 passing. Starter Manny Patterson missed the game with injury. Owens leads the team with 478 yards rushing with a 7.2-yard average and 7 touchdowns. Patterson has completed 71% of his passes for the same number of yards and scores. Giorgio Jackson and Deontay Malone are the leading receivers, though Malone has played in 1 fewer game. The Tigers are surrendering 151 yards passing per game, which could be a concern against St. Ed's high-powered offense. Massillon has won 3 straight in the series and lead the series 6-4. Last year's 10-point win at Lakewood followed 3 and 1-point wins for the Tigers at home. The Eagles' last win in the series came at Massillon in 2021. It's St. Ed's and Massillon from Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. For Q92 Sports, I'm Clint Scroggs.
Thanks, Clint. All right, let's talk a little bit about tonight's matchup between McKinley and Perry. We've seen Perry twice this year. This is our second time seeing McKinley. We had them last week, a dominating 38-0 win over Glen Oak. They held Glen Oak's offense to 42 total yards of offense. They had only completed 1 pass. So we know the defense for McKinley is there. They've got speed. They've got size up front. Perry, good running game. Might as well mention it. We have seen for the first time this season on the sidelines in full pads, Caleb Hunley, who was supposed to be the starting tailback for Perry, coming into this season, suffered a collarbone injury, and Connor Shepard and Jonathan Lemon have done a fantastic job carrying that torch, but hopefully we get to see Caleb Hunley a little bit today, which will give Connor Shepard a little bit of a breather. He's a 2-way guy. He's the leading tackler on defense. So having that back has to be huge for Perry tonight.
It definitely does, especially like you said, that defense is led by number 0, Shepard. He's a man-child inside linebacker, beginning done on both sides of the ball. Now that Hundley is back, should be able to spell him a little more, so Hundley and Lemon can hopefully carry most of the load at running back, while that Panther defense is going to be busy tonight against the Pups.
They are, but I think both teams are going to be very busy defensively. Even though Perry lost last week to Lake, they outgained them 320 yards to 273 yards. However, they committed 5 turnovers, including 3 interceptions. We saw McKinley last week. I think they had 3 interceptions as well in their game against Glen Oak.
So a turnover on down, so that's technically 4 turnovers. So you had one team with 5, one team with 4 turnovers. Ball security is going to be a big factor in who's going to win this game tonight.
It is. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, senior cornerback Chris Crook had 2 of those McKinley 3 interceptions last week. They limited Glen Oak to 1 of 12 passing, and like I said, 42 total yards of offense. Darius Hill returned to action, 10 catches, 94 yards. He is a weapon everywhere. He also he was playing quarterback towards the end of that game.
Little Wildcat.
Went 34 yards for a score on that as well.
A messed up play.
It was a broken play, and he went off to the races. Kylan West has played really well for McKinley. He's an impact player, 6.8 yards per carry on the season, 3 touchdowns. Both teams are physical. Both teams are ready to go. I think we're in for a good one. Let's talk a little bit more about the parity between these two teams, because you've got an offensive lineman for Perry who is getting looked at, I believe, Toledo
commit. Yep.
Yeah, Preston Daisy, 6'2" or 6'5", 290. They've got a good offensive line, but that McKinley defensive front is very, very strong.
Yeah, definitely. The parity runs deep. Both teams have 2-headed monsters at running back. Now Perry has a 3-headed monster at running back, but we also saw McKinley in the fourth quarter put 2 running backs in last week, fresh legs, making that tired defense even more difficult to get off the field, because you got fresh legs churning, trying to get that first down. Both, like we said, both defense are sensational. Perry's led by Shepard. McKinley's led by number 6, Shad Davis. Those guys are all over the field making plays in the backfield. I think the difference is going to be who can win that battle up front. Perry's offensive line, we mentioned Daisy, there's Walker, there's Hill, the Salazar brothers, and that McKinley defensive line with Daniels, Dawkins, Hinkle, and Mitchell, who's the stand-up linebacker on the line of scrimmage. That's going to be the telltale in this game. And ironically, both that offensive line from Perry and defensive line from McKinley are coached by ex-McKinley greats. So the parity continues to run deep in this game.
It is. And Coach Hall had a chance to talk to both Coach Lino and Parnell, and we're going to listen to them back to back as we get you ready for kickoff. We'll start with the visiting Renzi Parnell, coach of the McKinley Bulldogs.
Antonio Hall for the Q92 pregame show. This coach's interview is brought to you by Fedora Football, the football world's lifestyle brand. Visit fedora.football. Here with first-year McKinley head coach Renzi Parnell. Coach, last week defense was dominant. What positions or players have stood out to you on your defense so far?
And all of them. They all buying into the system, and that's the way our defense works, right? We run the football, and it's got to be 11 hats to the ball, so it's hard to single them out. Obviously, we got dudes stepping it up. We got leaders leading, so that's a good thing right now. We just got to continue to fight and get better every week.
Yes, sir. Much like yourself, Perry has a few weapons on offense. Is there anyone specific you're keying on tonight when Perry has the ball?
Like I said, both they got a ton of athletes. They got a really good offensive line. All their backs are good. Both 0 and 24 run the ball really, really well. The quarterback is also a threat to run the football. So their running game is tough. And then they got matchups on the outside. They got size out there and speed with 17-3. So they're going to be tough to defend.
Coach, last question. What are the keys to victory tonight?
Consistency, man. We got to be consistent. And again, like I said last week, we got to play 4 quarters of football.
Yes, sir, Coach. Thank you for your time. Good luck tonight. See you after the game.
Thanks. Go Pups.
Antonio Hall for the Q92 pregame show. This coach's interview is being brought to you by Fedora Football. Fedora Football is the football world's lifestyle brand. Visit fedora.football. Coach, how's practice this week?
It was good. You want to see how your kids respond after a tough loss. And we felt that it was a tough loss for us, and the kids responded well. You don't know that until you see them in those adverse situations. So we challenged them to have the best week of practice that we've had this year, and I think we had that.
Glad to hear it. Coach, what was the message to your team coming in this week preparing for a 3-on-1 McKinley team?
Yeah, focus on us, right? Last week was a loss, and we talked about getting the bad taste out of our mouth, and the only way to do that is keep pressing forward. But obviously, McKinley being another federal league opponent, I think our kids are juiced up for the rivalry as well.
Last question, Coach. What needs to happen to get the W tonight?
We need to play 4 quarters of football. We got to start fast, and we cannot turn the ball over. Can't allow McKinley to have explosive plays.
Coach, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
I think it's very interesting there that both coaches had talked about making sure that they play 4 quarters of football.
Yep.
In a game like this tonight, I think that's going to be crucial. I say this almost every broadcast. Penalties, turnovers, and third down conversions for your third down efficiency. If you can win 2 or 3 out of those categories, that puts you in a great position to win the football game.
Yeah, and both teams think it's very critical to start fast, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and you want to finish strong, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So 4 quarters very critical tonight in this big Federal League matchup.
Perry won the toss. They deferred, so McKinley's going to have the ball first. And another thing we didn't even touch on is the skill guys on both sides on the outside. For Perry, Nazir Foster and Jaden Wilson, and for McKinley, DJ Britt and Darius Hill. You've got runners, you've got weapons, quarterbacks, offensive line, defensive line. I mean, both teams are so evenly matched. It's going to be the small details that get you a victory here tonight. Perry will be kicking off from right to left. They are wearing the black pants with the black jerseys and the big, bold white numbers with the black helmet and the white P on the side. And I said this to Coach, some of the slickest unis for me that I like: McKinley. Red pants, the white jerseys with the red numbers, the white helmet with the pup on the side. They look slick.
Yes, they do. Get ready for kickoff right here in the PTO.
So here we go, live from Wakefield Stadium. It's Federal League football. Perry, McKinley, Perry kicking off on Q92 Radiosports.com. On to kick for the Panthers. Price to Stefano, the run-up and the kick. A low kick, line drive that'll hit at the 10-yard line and roll into the end zone for a touchback. McKinley will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
As Perry, you can't ask for a better start than that. You don't want to give those dangerous McKinley return men any opportunities to get a big gain to start this game. We saw it last week. Really electrified that offense. So good job. Touchbacks. McKinley starting at the 20-yard line.
All righty, here we go. Starting quarterback for the Canton McKinley Bulldogs, Trent Hayden, will be under center, behind center. Kylan West at the tailback position. They're going to line up with 2 wings in the ball game. And Hayden in the shotgun. He turns, hands it off to West, over to left-hand side, immediately hit in the backfield. I don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage, but coming through and making a big tackle for the Panthers. I think that was number 52, Dominic Walker, the junior, coming in. And that's a big play right off the bat to show McKinley that Perry's here to play.
Yeah, especially when McKinley lines up in their big set, like you said, 2 wing backs, 2 up backs, and just tried to pound it down their throat. Good job by Perry establishing the line of scrimmage early in this game.
McKinley moving from left to right, same formation. Turn, play action now. They're looking, a little comeback route, caught at the 30-yard line, all the way down to the 35-yard line. Darius Hill getting involved early for a first down for McKinley.
Yep, just your basic hitch. You read cushion by the cornerback. Darius reads it. Him and the quarterback are on the same page. And Darius is a guy, if you give him just a little bit of space after the catch, he's going to make a big game.
And Hill, little ginger coming up at the end of that play. He's going to make his way to the sidelines. A little limp in his step. We'll keep an eye on that. Just came back from injury last week, and the trainers are checking him on the sideline as McKinley has the ball 1st and 10 at the 35. Man in motion, one of the wings from left to right. He becomes an up back. Handoff to West over the right-hand side, cuts it back, runs a defender over across the 45-yard line down to the 46, and a 10-yard carry and a first down for McKinley.
I love how hard this young man runs the ball. We saw it last week at Glen Oak. He's a downhill runner, only a sophomore, but you can't tell by his physicality when people try to tackle him.
10:38 here in the first quarter at Wakefield Stadium. McKinley, their opening drive of the ball game. 1st and 10 at the 46. Two wing backs in the game, two receivers. Left wing moves in motion from left to right. They went back to the same play. West breaks a tackle. He's across the 40. One man to beat. 35, 20, 10, 5 into the end zone for the score. 46-yard touchdown. Actually, more than that. 54-yard touchdown run from Kylan West, and the Pups strike first.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better start than that to the game for McKinley, getting it done on the ground and air, mostly the ground. That time they ran off tackle behind that right wing, and once he hit that second level, he was gone.
So a quick score, and we'll talk a little bit more about this throughout the broadcast. The kicker for McKinley, Manikowski, is not here tonight, and he's got a great reason for it. So we'll see what McKinley does if they are going to keep their offense in, and they are. They're going to go for two. Not having Manikowski available here tonight, and they go two receivers to the right, and man in motion now. They're going to send three receivers to the right, single wide out left, and back to pass, looking to the right. Now he's rolling out to his right, looking. Here comes the pressure, throws it in the corner of the end zone, and it goes incomplete. So the conversion, the 2-point conversion fails, and McKinley leads 6-0. Is there a penalty marker somewhere?
I'm looking to see.
Because the officials are talking. Again, a phantom flag.
No flags this year.
They just stop what they're doing.
Simon says there's a flag. That's what we're playing. Looks like it's going to be on Perry. Oh, okay.
So an eligible receiver on McKinley. They will decline that penalty. So McKinley strikes first, 6-0. 10-15 remaining in the first quarter. We're going to step away and take a break. Will Perry respond? We'll find out when we come back. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Lilyfield Lane Flowers and Gifts, located at 2830 Cleveland Avenue South, is your go-to florist for every occasion: homecoming, prom, weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, and memorials. Stop in and take a look at our unique gifts and beautiful custom floral arrangements. We deliver in the Stark County area. Give us a call today at 330-754-6998 and mention Q92 to receive a 20% discount.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Wakefield Stadium. The Pups strike first with a 54-yard touchdown run from Kylan West. They do not have a kicker tonight. Mankowski is playing at Pebble Beach, huh, Coach?
Pebble Beach.
And how did we get that happening?
So he qualified for the First Tee National tournament that was played at Notre Dame College.
Oh, there we go.
Your boys. And he finished well in that, and that allowed him to qualify to play at Pebble Beach with some of the PGA pros.
That's awesome. So, yeah, definitely not going to pass up that opportunity. But we talk about special teams playing a part in this game. You never know if that 1 point or not having the ability to kick the extra points or if their field goal range could come back to hurt them. But again, I'm not gonna judge the kid for going to play Pebble Beach.
Well, if McKinley can run the ball with as much ease as they did that first drive, they don't need to kick much tonight.
Won't be a problem at all. All right, so McKinley, who's doing the kickoffs for them? Is that Brown? We'll see here. Run up and the kick will bounce at the 30-yard line, taken by the upman for Perry. And he will have the ball. Perry will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. That kickoff was by Lanaz Brown.
Starting cornerback. Now sharing kicking duties.
So Perry will have the ball with good field position starting off their first drive. We'll see what the offense can do, led by Cameron Treharn, the sophomore quarterback. And, we mentioned Caleb Hunley. He is not currently in the ball game. They're going to go with Connor Shepard to start things off for the Perry Panthers. Man in motion from left to right. Turn, hand off to Shep, right up the middle, across the 40, out to the 44-yard line, and a pickup of 5 for the Panthers. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, that was a good downhill run, just trying to establish the line of scrimmage early in the game, let your linemen fire off the ball, low and hard, flat backs, and they were able to get a good 5-yard gain on that.
So second down, they send two receivers to the wide side left. That's Wilson and Foster. Now they send tight and wing to the left as well, with Shepard in the backfield with Treharn. Turn, handed off to Shepard. He's immediately hit in the backfield. Coming through, Amir Mitchell laying the wood on Connor Shepard. I haven't seen him get stopped in his tracks like that all year.
Yeah, Amir Mitchell is a great-looking football player. I mean, he definitely passes the eye test when you see him. He's long. He's thick enough on the bottom. You know, he has long arms. He plays that stand-up defensive end position, that walk-up linebacker, and so far he's off to a good start tonight.
Yeah, 6'3", 215 at defensive end for McKinley. A big third down for the Panthers. They send both Wilson and Foster to the left, and they turn. Hand it off to Shepard again. He's making his way through traffic, and who will be 2 yards short of the line to gain for the first down. So it'll be a 4th and 2 in Perry Panther territory, and the punting unit looks like it's making its way out onto the field for the Panthers. Just a heads up that Jaden Wilson, one of the star receivers for the Panthers, is also their punter. So that's always something you have to keep in the back of your head.
Always.
Back deep to return for McKinley is Shad Davis. Dangerous return man for the Pups. Snap is back. And kick almost blocked, and fair catch called for by Davis at the 21-yard line. So McKinley will have the ball 1st and 10, their second offensive possession of the game.
So far, great start by this McKinley team. Came out, scored quickly, got a 3-0 on defense. Now they're starting their second series on offense. Let's see what the Pups can do in this series.
I say this all the time. I'm not a coach. But I would come out on this first play and play action and let it fly.
Deep. Let it go deep. You just give up a 55-yard run. You know they're going to be inching up there at the safety position, but why not go over top?
So McKinley breaks the huddle. They are on the left hash. They send DJ Britt to the right. And I believe Hill is still out of the ball game. West to the right. And there's the play action and a comeback route. Sails a little bit high, coming up, making a good defensive play for the Panthers was Jaden Wilson. That pass was high and outside, intended for DJ Britt.
That time McKinley was in their double wing set again. They had one receiver on the bottom, one receiver on the top of the formation. That time they tried to go to their big receiver, DJ Britt, but great coverage out there by Perry.
I'm looking to see if I can see Darius Hill anywhere on the sidelines. He kind of hobbled off during McKinley's first drive as it's 2nd and 10 for the Pups. Turn, handoff to West. He's immediately hit at the line of scrimmage and goes down. And that was Connor Shepard coming in and filling that hole. Boy, oh boy, that was a collision at the line of scrimmage.
He filled that hole with some anger. With that guy, he plays downhill football. Like when he pulls his trigger and he goes, there's no stopping him. Great play by number 0.
So a big third down now for McKinley, and this is big for Perry. If you're able to get a 3 and out and get your offense back on the field, you start to turn that momentum again into your favor, and I feel like momentum is going to be a big part of tonight's game.
Huge. Right now the McKinley sideline is fired up, and justifiably so.
3 receivers to the wide side right for McKinley, single short left, back to pass. Is Hayden. He's looking, swings it out into the right flat. That's caught. Picking up the first down and getting out of bounds, Elijah Finn. Great read there from Hayden. Nothing downfield. Checks it down to his speedy receiver in the flat, and he picks up 10 yards and a first down.
That was a great scheme by McKinley. They had trips, and then they put the running back to the trip, so it's almost like a 4-man side that you had to cover, and they just dropped the coverage on the running back coming out the backfield, and first down.
So a big pickup for McKinley. 7:08 remaining in the first quarter. The Pups lead 6-0. And they're going to put 7:15 back onto the clock. McKinley with the ball, 1st and 10 on the right hash. They'll send 2 receivers to the left. That's Finn and Britt. And along with them comes Marquise Jackson. So 3 receivers to the wide side left. West in the backfield with Hayden. Pistol formation. Turn, hands it off to West, and he's immediately hit at the line of scrimmage. 2 Perry defenders coming through and making the tackle. That was Caleb Lawan, who came off the top of the pile, and I believe that was
number 27,
Michael DeSantis.
Yep, great fill right there coming downhill, tackling him at the line of scrimmage. Now McKinley's in the 2nd and long. Hasn't been an issue for him so far, but we'll see what McKinley can do on the 2nd and long play.
And they come back, and I believe that's Hill again out there on the far side left. So 3 receivers to the left, back to pass. He's got a man one-on-one. He's beat the defender, and it is just over the hands of the intended receiver. DJ Britt had one-on-one coverage. Jaden Wilson got beat by a step, and that pass just sailed off the fingertips of Britt.
Britt had 2 steps on him. You know, if that ball was just placed a little bit closer, that would have been a big play, maybe even a score for the Pups.
So another 3rd and 10 for McKinley. Last time they were in this position, they threw and ended up checking down for the first down to Elijah Finn. We'll see what they do now as they break the huddle. Send 3 receivers to the left. Single coverage on the right-hand side is DJ Britt. West to the right of Hayden in the shotgun. Here comes pressure off the edge. Hayden looks, throws it out into the flat. Had to get rid of that before the receiver, Britt, turned his head, and that's going to go off of his fingers and incomplete. And the punting unit comes on for McKinley.
That time, Perry brought pressure from the right side of the field, the wide side of the field, that outside linebacker who looked like he was in coverage. The last second, he started to creep down. He blitzed right at the snap and was able to get good pressure on Hayden. Now McKinley's going for it on a long 4th and 10. But again, their punter is out, so they have to do what they have to do.
And we saw them do a pooch punt last week.
Watch a quick. There's 5 wide receivers. I anticipate a quick kick right here.
And Perry's going to take a timeout to talk about things because that's the first time they've seen that formation from McKinley. You don't know if they're going to, take a couple steps back right before the snap and do the quick kick, or if they're actually going to go for it on their own side of the field. So Perry takes a timeout. This timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. Coach, if you're in this position, even though you don't have a punter, you can't really think about going for it in this situation, can you?
No, I would anticipate a quick kick, especially if I go empty. I have 5 wide receivers. 2 of those guys are going to be my gunners, just like a punt team. So I'm a fan out cover, but now McKinley's going into their true punt formation. Was that Darius Hill back there?
Yes.
He was our backup punter last year, so he has a boot on him if he gets a hold on one. Let's see what he does.
So nonetheless, McKinley made Perry burn a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
The strategic thinking by Coach Parnell and the McKinley Bulldogs. So here we go. Darius Hill back to punt for McKinley. And they bring their
motion to tight punt.
Correct. You said it much more eloquently than I would have.
Oh, it was moving early, but they didn't call it.
Snap back and a low kick will hit and roll and gets a good bounce. That ball hit at the 46-yard line on the Perry side of the field, and then we'll roll down to the 31. So an effective punt, not the prettiest, but effective for McKinley.
But it flips the field, and that's what you want. You want to flip the field. Now Perry has to start middle of their territory. It's not like you're starting in midfield. So good job getting the ball off. Good job covering. Now McKinley has to play defense.
So Perry's offense out onto the field for the second time of the game. Went
3 and out.
Yeah, they did go 3 and out their first drive. So we'll see what the Panthers can do right here. Ball on the left hash. Perry moving from right to left. 3:19 left in the first quarter. McKinley leads 6-0. Treharn in the shotgun. And is that Lemon? It is. Jonathan Lemon gets the snap, and he gets across the 30 down to the 33, 34-yard line, and it'll be second down for Perry.
That was great penetration by the nose guard, Dietrich Daniels, but Lemon was able to read it at the last second, make a cut, and still get positive yards.
So 2nd and 8. They give him 2 yards on the carry. Still on the left hash, single wide out by himself on the far side right. And now they get motion. Nazir Foster moves to the right. So Foster and Wilson on the same side. Lemon to the right of Treharn in the shotgun. Turn, hand it off to Lemon. He bounces off one of his offensive linemen, keeps his feet going. A great run that should have had 1, maybe 2 yards, and he picks up 5 yards and makes it 3rd and short for the Panthers.
Yeah, great yak that time by Lemon. Just keeping his feet going, turning, grinding, fighting for 3 or 4 more yards. Now you're in the third and about long three, as opposed to a 3rd and 7 or 8, which would have been if he would have been brought down on first contact.
So Perry shifts some things around. They go tight trips bunch on the left side, single wide out to the far side right, and they're going to hand this one off to Lemon. He will get stood up and is going to be short of the line to gain. Needed 3, maybe picked up 1.5, and will force the punting unit back out onto the field for the Panthers. Back-to-back 3 and outs from this stout McKinley defense.
So far, that front 7 for McKinley are doing a great job. That defensive line is doing a good job getting penetration or stalemating their guy. And those linebackers are reading. They're coming downhill. Brooks and Stevens, 2 of the best linebackers in Stark County, they're both off to a great start tonight.
And back to deep for McKinley is Darius Hill. I would kick this one out of bounds, but they get a high end-over-end kick, and fair catch called for and taken at the 27-yard line. So McKinley's offense back out onto the field, 1st and 10 from the 27.
That was great punt coverage by Perry that time. I mean, a guy was in his face before the ball even got to Darius Hill. So great job on the punt team that time.
For Perry's offense, back-to-back 3 and outs. They've the majority of their plays have been runs. Even if you don't throw the ball deep, I'd like to see, Wilson and Foster start getting the ball, maybe a wide receiver screen or just a little out in the flat.
Yeah.
Try to get those guys in space and force McKinley to pull that extra guy out of the box and kind of free things up the running lanes for your 2 backs. But we'll see what they do next drive.
Yeah.
So McKinley, 1st and 10. They spread things out. 3 receivers to the wide side left, single wide out right. West in the backfield, and they turn, play action. They hit the slant route. That is caught by DJ Britt. Breaks the tackle across the 40. Breaks another one at midfield. 45-40, 35-30. Finally brought down. What a move and catch and run from McKinley's DJ Britt. Switching the field and put McKinley on Perry's side.
That time to play action, pulled the second level, those linebackers up, but gave just enough cushion between the safety and the linebackers to squeeze that slant in, and Britt worked his magic after he made the catch. Great job with the yards after catch by number 9. Off to a good start this game.
So 1st and 10 for McKinley, 4 minutes left in the first quarter, and they're going to stop the clock. Might be an issue with the chains on McKinley's sideline, as the guy who holds the downage is talking to the official. The official's talking to the McKinley coaching staff, maybe telling them to stay back a little bit. There we go. You always got the get back coach.
Always. And that's huge too. I mean, you need the get back coach.
Oh, a lot of times in that situation, they don't even do it's an immediate flag and your first warning. So it's nice to see the officials kind of being like, hey, just keep it back a little bit.
Yep.
1st down for McKinley. They've got 3 receivers to the wide side right, single wide out left. High snap brought down, finally given to West. Excuse me, that wasn't West. That was Zion Culver, the ball carrier, and he picks up 1 yard on the play.
Zion, the scattier back of the 2, a little bit smaller, but still a very effective runner. Once he hits the crease, he can find that second level, break it wide open. McKinley has a true 2-headed monster in the backfield that they can go with.
I got a score update for you. First play of the game, Brandon White from St. Ed, 64 yards. St. Ed's up 7-0 over Massillon.
Wow. First play, huh?
First play. 6-0 McKinley here at Wakefield Stadium. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Hayden in the pistol, and we got a penalty marker on the play. That's a false start on McKinley. It's the first penalty of the night after McKinley had, was it 11 for 94 yards or something like that last week?
Most of them came in the third quarter.
That was a long third quarter.
It was.
To see if I can pull up last week's stats. But 2nd and 14 now for McKinley. They're at the 33, in between the 33 and 34 yard line. They break the huddle, send a single wide out to the left side. That is Trayvon Smith. 3 receivers to the right. Hayden back to pass. He's got to roll out to his right. Here comes pressure from Shepard. He just throws it up and almost brought down, but batted away Going up for that catch was DJ Britt, and coming in from behind from Perry was Isaiah Payne, who was able to knock that out of his hands. Hayden just trying to look like he was throwing it out of bounds, but Britt going up, making a great effort.
Yeah, DJ just skies and almost comes down with it. But like you said, Payne got just enough, made a play on the ball, so he was able to jar it loose. That time, pressure got to him from the right side. Quarterback was able to roll out a little bit, get it off, but incomplete pass, 3rd and long.
So 3rd and 14 for McKinley, and they go 3 receivers to the right again. Single wide out left. Culver to the right of Hayden in the shotgun. Back to pass is Hayden. He's got pressure. He's going to step up in the pocket. He's got room to run. He takes off and is going to slide down short of the 25-yard line, and it will be 4th down. And I have to imagine
they're going for it.
That they're going to go for it in this situation. And I'm sure that they were told that we don't need to get it all on this play. Let's pick up a few to make it a little bit more manageable.
Great point. Great point. Yep. Just pick up what you can get. We're going to go for it on 4th down. At least now it's a 4th and manageable. It's 4th and 9. That's a lot better than 4th and 14.
So 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. McKinley leads 6-0. They break the huddle, send 3 receivers to the right. Single wide out left. By himself on the far side is DJ Britt. Culver to the right of Hayden in the shotgun. He takes a snap. He's back to pass. He's looking right. He's going to step up in the pocket again. He's got a slant in spot. Hill into the end zone. Let's see if they mark him in. They're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line. Darius Hill just running a simple crossing route and was able to catch it, turn and run, and they say he's down at the 1-yard line.
I think that was the right call. It looked like his knee was down prior to the ball breaking the goal line, but great pocket presence again by Hayden. He showed it last week. He's showing it again tonight. That time, the middle of the pocket opened up. He stepped up, saw Hill crossing, beautiful delivery, great pitch and catch.
And it looked like he was going to run, but he kept his eyes downfield and saw Darius Hill, and I'd throw it to him anytime I got a chance.
10 times out of 10, baby.
So 2 wings to the right, turn, hand it off to Culver. Culver is going to get stood up at the line of scrimmage, and it will not get in.
That time it looked like a zone play to the right, offensive line, full, student body to the right. Culver tried to bounce it outside. It wasn't there because the outside linebacker did a great job setting the edge, forcing everything back in, and they stoned him at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and goal for McKinley in the RG Drag red zone. They're going to go 2 wing backs, well, I guess up backs, right behind the tackles, or right behind the guards, and they turn to Culver on the left-hand side, and he gets stood up again. He gets stood up again at the line of scrimmage, and it will be 3rd and goal for McKinley.
That time looked like double insert or double ISO. Those wing backs led up on both the outside linebackers. The right guard and center tried to combo up to the middle linebacker, but great job by the center of that Perry defense being stout, not giving up any movement. Linebackers were downhill.
And there is an injury at the end of that play. There was a player from Perry who is down right at the goal line, and training staff is checking in on him. And while they do that, we're going to step away and take a break. McKinley 6, Perry nothing. McKinley on the 2-yard line trying to make it more. We'll find out if they do right after this. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Looking for quality glass and mirror work you can trust? At Cardinal Glass and Mirror in Canton, we handle it all, residential, commercial, and industrial. From window replacements to custom glass and custom mirrors, we've got you covered. We're a small, locally owned business, and we live by one promise. If we won't put it in our home, we won't put it in yours. Call today, 330-478-0075. Visit us online at cardinalglassmirror.com or stop by at 1857 Whipple Avenue Northwest in Canton.
Are you looking to add beauty, privacy, and year-round greenery to your property? Smith Evergreen Nursery is a family-owned local grower of premium evergreens, perfect for privacy screens, windbreaks, and stunning landscaping. They grow what they sell, so you get healthy, long-lasting trees straight from the source. Call 330-575-2479, visit smithevergreen.com, or find Smith Evergreen Nursery on Facebook. Smith Evergreen Nursery, farm to yard.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And back here at Wakefield Stadium, the injured player was able to get up and walk off on his own power, but that is big number 77, Preston Daisy, the Toledo recruit.
That's their dude.
And that's going to be a huge hole in that defensive line with McKinley 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. And they're going to have both. Let's see here. They've got wing left, tight left. And they turn, hand off right up the middle and going into the end zone for the score. Touchdown, McKinley. And I believe that was Isaac Brooks, the 5'10", 200-pound running back, a little bit bigger, being able to pound his way through into the end zone for McKinley's score.
That time, McKinley's offensive line was able to get good push on that right side because number 77's out the game. So that's obviously a huge loss for that defense. But good job by McKinley's offensive line, by Isaac Brooks, keeping his feet going and finding pay dirt.
So McKinley going for the 2-point conversion. And I believe that's Shad Davis in the backfield with Darius Hill. Hill rolling out to his right, throws and caught for the 2-point conversion. Running across the back of the end zone for McKinley was Trayvon Smith, the 6'3", 165-pound senior. And McKinley converts the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, that time the defense is thinking run, obviously, because you got Hill in at the Wildcat running back. Everyone was coming up to the line of scrimmage. You saw Trey going across the back of the end zone late, going towards the pylon. Great pitch and catch.
So McKinley now leads 14-0, 21 seconds remaining in the first quarter. We'll keep it here and go through and some scores. Green 7, Jackson 7. That's the end of the first quarter there. Hoover 7, Louisville nothing, end of the first. But John Collins, the quarterback from Hoover, has left the game. Left knee ankle injury. They said it did not look good. So that would be, we talked almost every game about Hoover always getting hit with a big injury at some point. And
always.
Hopefully John Collins is okay and can make his way back, because you hate to see that.
Yep.
A minute left in the first quarter. Minerva 10, St. Thomas Aquinas nothing. Northwest 3, Canton South 0. And Massillon got on the board. 7:30 left in the first quarter. It's 7-7 between Massillon and St. Ed's.
Okay.
14-0 here at Wakefield Stadium in Perry. The Bulldogs lead 14-0. Perry's offense just hasn't been able to get going. So the run up and the kick. And that kick will bounce and be fielded at the 30-yard line, 35. And they say he stepped out right around the 35-yard line. So it'll be Perry ball, 1st and 10. 2 3-and-outs for the Panthers. And they've got 18 seconds left in the first quarter to try to get something going on here.
Yeah, to me, it seems like Perry was trying to overload the box with big sets, multiple running backs, some wing backs, some H-backs, and that just brings McKinley's defense in. What you need to do is get into your spread formation if you're going to run the ball, so McKinley's defense isn't so packed into the box.
Well, we'll see if we get Caleb Hunley with his first carry of the season as he enters the ball game, and they fake it to Hunley, hand it off to one of the receivers who motioned in. Getting to the edge was Nazir Foster, so they motioned Foster in, and then he bounced it out back to the same side he motioned from and was able to pick up 4 on the carry.
Yep, that was a good first down play. Everyone thinking Hunley has the ball, but Foster was able to bounce it back out to the right side where he came from and get a good 4-yard gain on first.
So 2nd and 6 for the Panthers, and he went out of bounds, so the clock stopped at 11 seconds. And Cameron Treharn in the shotgun. Man in motion now from right to left. That's Foster again. This time they hand it off to Hunley. He tries to bounce it to the outside and then gets chopped down coming up and making the tackle for McKinley. I believe that was Dewan Robinson.
Dewan, excuse me.
Came up, great tackle in open field.
Yeah, that McKinley linebacking core is vicious, and they're deep. They go about 5 deep at that linebacking core. But again, you have Perry lining up in tights and wings, and all that's doing is bringing more guys to the line of scrimmage for McKinley. And if you try to bounce it at McKinley, Glen Oak saw it last week, you could not bounce to the edge on this McKinley's defense. They're too fast.
Yeah, he lost 2 yards on that carry, and it'll make it a 3rd down. And we'll see that play when we come back as the first quarter comes to an end with McKinley leading Perry 14-0. This is high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency is a locally woman-owned travel agency helping you see the world. Lisa books any and all types of travel, honeymoons, all-inclusive, cruises, Disney, along with bachelor and bachelorette trips and destination weddings with low deposit, and you set your monthly payments. Mention Q92 to get $50 on board cruise, credit, cabin, or $150 off your non-canceled vacation or honeymoon. Call 330-428-0610. Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency. If you don't go, you won't know.
This is head coach Spencer Lino from the Perry Panthers. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And 3rd down here back at Wakefield Stadium. They take the snap, rolling out to his left, throwing into the flat. That's caught by Lemon across the 40, gets across the 45, 50, makes a man miss, still on his feet across the 40, 35, all the way down to the 30-yard line. A great run after catch from Jonathan Lemon, moving the Panthers into McKinley territory.
He is so slippery. Like, I remember watching him a few weeks ago at Warren. Like, you think you have him, and it's like he lathers up with dish soap because you go to grab him and he just slips right out of your hands.
So that's the biggest play of the game and the first down for the Panthers, and it takes them all the way out to the McKinley 30-yard line. It's the way you want to start the second half. And they take it and hand it off to Shepard. Shepard gets down to the 25. A great run right up the gut. A little ISO action from Shepard.
But that time, McKinley was playing a little looser because you just got the big pass, good play action, boot out, found, one of your running backs, big gain. Now McKinley's a little soft. Now you're able to gash him up with just a basic ISO play.
So 5 yards on the first down for Connor Shepard. Brings up 2nd and 5. They send 2 receivers to the right. Perry now moving from left to right across your radio dial. And they turn, hand it off to Shepard again over to the right-hand side, across the 20, 15, down to the 10, inside to the 8-yard line as Perry makes their way inside the RG Drag red zone.
Perry's getting back to their bread and butter, their power play, where they have the up back, kick out the defensive end, that backside guard. He pulls up in the line of scrimmage for that front side linebacker, and there was a gaping hole for Shepard to run through on that play.
So Perry breaks the huddle, sends 2 receivers to the right. That's Wilson and Foster. Shepard lined up to the left of Treharn. Tight end and wing, both on the right side of the line of scrimmage. They take the snap, hand it off to Shepard. He dances behind his offensive lineman, getting down to the 5-yard line, and it sets up a 2nd down and goal.
McKinley needs to be careful because that backside linebacker, he's overcommitting on the power play, leaving a huge backside cutback in that A gap, and that's where Shepard was able to hit it. If that happens again, he might be able to pop this one for a touchdown.
10:03 left in the first half. 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. McKinley leads 14-0. 2 backs now in the game behind Treharn. That's Hunley and Shepard. They turn, hand it off to Hunley. Hunley tries to reverse direction, and a great tackle in open field from McKinley. I believe that was 22. DeJuan Robinson, again, with a great open field tackle. He's going straight to the legs of those shifty backs and not letting them get away.
Well, he's a wrestler, and you can tell because when he tackles, it's just like he's shooting when he's out there on the mat. He's a great kid, works his behind off. He's having a great season so far this year.
So 3rd and goal now for Perry. They leave Shepard, now Jonathan Lemon in the backfield, one on each side of Treharn. Play action to Shepard. Treharn's going to look to run. He's trying to get to the end zone, slides in for the score. 5-yard touchdown run for the Perry Panthers. Cameron Treharn puts the Panthers on the board.
Perry needed that so bad just to get back in the game, just to get the momentum back on their sideline. That's huge, huge, huge First drive in the second quarter for the Perry Panthers. Now putting them on the board, making this a one-score game.
Bryce DiStefano into the ball game for the extra point for the Panthers. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. 9:08 remaining in the first half. Perry just cut the Bulldogs lead down by 7. It's 14-7 McKinley, and we're going to take a break. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Start your day right at Judy's Family Restaurant, your new favorite spot for home-style breakfast and friendly faces. We're locally owned and operated with a team that brings you years of experience to every plate. Whether you're craving fluffy pancakes, sizzling bacon, or a hot cup of coffee, we've got you covered. Come taste the difference at Judy's Family Restaurant. Call 234-360-3096 and follow us on Facebook for daily specials and updates. Judy's, where breakfast feels like home.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Wakefield Stadium. Ryan Keller, Antonio Hall with you tonight. Thank you for joining us on Q92 Radiosports.com and the Q92 YouTube channel. McKinley gets onto the board, has 14-0. Perry finally gets on the board, and they strike back. It's 14-7, 9:08 left in the first quarter. Got some more score updates coming for you in the second quarter. Jackson 14, Green 7, and 7:52 left in the second quarter. Minerva 17, St. Thomas Aquinas 0.
Might get that 4-1 start.
It's looking like it. Alliance 21, Canton Central Catholic 0. It's been a tough go for Central.
It really has.
I think they're down to their third string quarterback now, too. Yeah. So Perry lining up for the kickoff, and a booming kick going over the head of the return. He fields it at the 1-yard line. Across the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and he's finally brought out of bounds. A great return from Darius Hill. If I'm Perry, I'm going to try to keep it out of that kid's hands.
I'm squibbing everything. I'm squibbing everything if I'm Perry. Do not kick it to that third level because they will make you pay.
Well, I think they thought that DiStefano could get it out of the back of the end zone or into the end zone. He was close. So
yeah, I mean, his toes were on the one when he caught it. So it was close.
And Hill's like, I'm returning this no matter what. So McKinley with the ball, 1st and 10. They say he stepped out at the 36, and they're going to turn, hand it off over to the right-hand side. Across the 40, still on his feet, across the 45, and almost a first down. A great run from Kylan West, starting off the drive for the Pups.
That time they ran outside zone to the wing back, outside zone right. Kylan put his foot in the ground, was able to hit it in that B gap and really press it once he got to that second level, and then he dragged about 3 guys for 6 yards.
So 2nd and 1 for McKinley. This is a good position to try to go deep. See what they do here. They've got both wing backs in, one on to the right, one on the left, and they're going to turn play action. They're looking for it. There's the deep ball down the right sideline, and it is caught at the 20. Coming down with that was DJ Barrett. That's exactly what I would do on 2nd and 1.
Yeah, 2nd and long, 2nd and short. You have a 6'3" wide receiver who has just lights out athletic ability. Throw it up, let him go make a play. It's exactly what he did. Huge game by the Pups on 2nd down.
So 2nd and 10 at the 20. So right at the RG Drag red zone. West in the pistol. Hill to the left. Britt to the right. They turn. Hand it off to West over the right-hand side. It looked like that was going to be right off the edge, but the defender from Perry came up and forced him to cut it back in a pickup of 2 on the carry from West.
That time it could have been a loss of 3. Because the defender came in scot-free, but West was able to put his foot in the ground, make a move at the last second, get back to the line of scrimmage and get a positive gain. Looks like West is coming out the game.
And is that Chad Davis in that tailback?
It's either that or Isaac Brooks. I see dread, so that's Isaac Brooks.
They turn, hand it off over the right-hand side. Head of steam right up the middle and down to the 2-yard line. Brooks with a head full of speed puts McKinley down, 1st and goal.
We saw him in that 4th quarter last week against Glen Oak do the same thing. He's not going to go left to right. He's not sideline to sideline. He is north and south with a head full of steam. And if you get in his way, he's going to make you pay.
So 1st and goal from the 1-yard line for McKinley. Talk about an answer if the Pups are able to put this one in as they keep Isaac Brooks in the ball game. Tight right, wing right. DJ Britt at the far side right, Hill to the far left. Takes the snap, fade route, uncovered in the end zone was Darius Hill.
I mean,
so miscommunication from Perry.
Nobody was in 8 yards of him. Wide open.
When I saw him throw it, that was just a nice lackadaisical throw over into the left side of the end zone. And I looked and I'm like, wait a minute, there's no one over there.
I mean, you'll throw to that dude when there's 2 guys covering him, let alone no guys covering him.
Right?
You can't do that if you're Perry. You can't leave a guy like that wide open, especially that close to the end zone.
There's a Led Zeppelin song, Communication Breakdown.
Communication
that was
breakdown.
It. So McKinley, without their kicker again, Mankowski playing at Pebble Beach. So they are going to go for 2. Darius Hill in at quarterback. And he's going to roll out to his right. And this is the same play they tried before. And this time it's picked off. And that will end the play after the interception. High school rules, you can't advance a conversion. So McKinley gets a quick score.
What an answer.
And it's back up 20-7 now with 6:49 remaining in the first half. We're going to step away and take a break. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
The weather might be getting cooler, but Tasty Cream on Navarre Road is just heating up. Open all year, Tasty Cream is ready to serve you fresh-made specialty burgers, Stark County's best conies, deep-fried mushrooms, crispy French fries, and so much more. To top it off, their ice cream selection continues to grow. Special flurries, homemade root beer floats, amazing brownie sundaes, and over 20 flavors of hand-dipped ice cream. Order online at tastycream.com or check out their Facebook and Instagram pages for events happening each month.
This is head coach Renzi Parnell from the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Wakefield Stadium. Ryan Keller, Antonio Hall with you. McKinley leads 20-7, 6:59 remaining in the first half. And Darius Hill on to kick off for McKinley. And the run up and the kick. It's fielded at the 25-yard line across the 30, 35, 40. And a nice return from Evan Lawbacher. And, Coach, let's talk a little bit, too. You know, Perry keeps taking their speedsters, Jaden Wilson and Nazir Foster, and still has them back at the 10-yard line after McKinley's now kicked off 3 times. And they've all been short little squibs. At what point do you be like, I want to get the ball in these guys' hands. You guys move up a level.
Yeah, or I might switch them out. I might move them up to the second level and move my second level back to the third level, knowing it's not going to get kicked deep.
I agree. That's the answer I was looking for. So Perry with the ball, 1st and 10, moving left to right on the right hash. Treharn in the shotgun. He turns. They play action, swing it over in the left side, and that play is blown up by a bunch of players from McKinley coming through, though. Isaac Brooks, we've called his name a ton here tonight, and that play was kind of doomed from the start.
Yeah, that time the receiver on the far side of the field, the point guard, did not get a block on that swing bubble pass, and ultimately that play was doomed from the beginning.
So a loss of 3 for Perry. They sent Jaden Wilson to the wide side right. Foster to the left. Actually, he comes over to the right now. So Wilson and Foster on the right-hand side. Treharn back to pass. He's rolling out to his right. Steps, throws it out into the flat. Catch short by a yard of the first down was Jaden Wilson, but it puts them in 3rd and 1 with 5:56 left in the half.
And great job by Treharn, realizing that pressure was going to come off that left side of the line of scrimmage. He pulled up just in the nick of time, delivered a beautiful pass, great catch, toe tap on the sidelines. Perry has a 3rd and short now.
So Wilson goes now to the far side left. to the right, that modified tight trips bunch that Perry runs. Shepard in the backfield. They turn, hand it off to Shepard. He hits a defender right at the line of scrimmage, and I think he's going to be short.
He's short.
That was Perry's Antonio Stevens, who came through and stood up Shepard, and they are a half a yard short of the line to gain. And I think if you're Perry at this point, you kind of have to go for it here.
You have to go. You have to. You're in midfield. You're down 2 scores. McKinley has all the momentum. You have to go for it here.
Push? No, just kidding. And we're going to have a timeout from McKinley. So McKinley spends their first timeout of the half. This timeout brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. I hate the tush push.
Do you?
So I didn't have a problem with it until everyone started pulling all the video evidence of the Eagles moving before the ball snapped.
Right.
If you're going to do it legally, I love it. Stop it.
Hey man, listen.
If you
get away with it,
it's not their fault.
It's not.
I'm not saying it's their fault.
Right.
It's the NFL's fault.
Hey, well, don't get me started on that. There's a lot of things that the NFL's fault. But it's like, hey, if you can't stop it,
I 100% agree. If you can't stop it, that's your fault. Figure out a way. But
I get
if
it.
the officials aren't going to call it correctly, get rid of it.
Right. Big down right here.
Here we go. 4th and 1. Perry with the football. Shepard behind Treharn. They're going to check with the sideline. Foster to the short side right. Wilson to the wide side left. They've got a wing on each side. Now Shepard moves to the right. Treharn takes a snap, hands it off to Shepard. Shepard's going to power forward. He has the first down, getting across midfield to the 49, just enough to move the chains for the Panthers.
Yep. Great 4th down play. Shepard just put his head down. Whatever is going to hit him is going to hit him, but he's going to get that first down.
So Perry, 1st and 10 in McKinley territory on the 49-yard line. Wilson to the wide side left. Foster to the short side right. Shepard still in at tailback to the left of Treharn. Turn, hand it off to Shepard. He gets through the first level, gets to they will mark him at the 40s, almost the 45-yard line. 45 and a half.
That's impressive in itself because McKinley had 8 guys in or around the box. So you have 8 guys in the box and you're still able to pop for a 4-yard gain. That's huge for this Perry offense.
I got some more updates coming to you, some big ones. We'll get to that here coming up after this play. 2nd and 6 for Perry. Tight end and wing left. Both receivers, Wilson and Foster to the left, and they're going to hand it off to Shepard. Shepard, gets a hole across the 40, 30, still on his feet all the way down to the 25-yard line.
He showed great patience that time, waiting for his 2 pullers to sort out what the front side was going to look like. They was able to get a hat on the hat, and he just snuck in that C gap and got a huge gain. Great patience by the running back.
And we'll get to some scores here in our next stoppage, and we've got some information coming from one of our games that's pretty big. We'll get to that here in a minute. Shepard to the right of Treharn. They're going to turn, hand it off to him again. He tries to get to the outside, and that's the best we've seen anyone be able to get to the edge against McKinley. And I think it's because he is so big that when you're on that angle, it's hard to go for the legs and you have to hit him up high and you just bounce off him at that point.
Yeah. And that time the outside linebacker did bounce off of him and he was able to keep his balance and was able to get 3.5, 4 yards on that first down play again.
So pick up, they give him 4 on the carry. It's 2nd and 6 from the 21. Ball on the right hash. Wilson and Foster lined up to the left. Tight end wing left. Shepard to the right of Treharn. Now the wing moves in motion from left to right. Treharn's going to keep it himself. Gets across the 20 and is stood up. Great hit coming in and filling that hole from McKinley's DeJuan Robinson. And we've called his name a lot on defense.
He's having the game, isn't he?
Yeah, for 5'5", 150 pounds. He plays much bigger than that.
But he's all heart. Man, last year on scout team, he would give guys fits. He have guys ready to fight during practice because he just he has a wrestler's mentality, dude. Yeah. Like he's not backing down from anybody.
No, 110% full go all the time, and it sets up a 3rd and 2 for Perry. Shepard to the right, that tight trips bunch for Perry on the short side, handed off to Shepard. Shepard he didn't have a full head of steam when he got into that hole, and it showed as he's brought down on the play by McKinley's Antonio Stevens. We've called his name a lot on defense, and it'll be 4th and 1 for the Panthers. Ball on the 17-yard line inside the RG Drag red zone.
If he was able just to see that there was a huge hole, about half a gap from where he tried to cram it up in there, if he just keeps it out, just bounces it back to the left a little bit, he scores a touchdown. There's nobody there.
And now it sets up a 4th and 1. And they're going that tight trips bunch on the left-hand side. Shepard to the left of Treharn.
Running back to the right.
And a penalty. And it's offsides on McKinley.
Wow.
And gives the Panthers a free first down. Let's see if we can hear the number from the official. Here, let's see. It's whatever crowd mic does here.
Defense number 44 in the neutral zone.
Number 44 Hinkle. For McKinley. That is Colin Hinkle lined up in the neutral zone. And that gives Perry a free set of downs. And they can still pick up a first down here. It's 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. If Perry's able to get it in here, they get the ball to start the second half. This is a huge drive for the Panthers right before halftime. Shepard to the left of Treharn. Two tight ends to the right. They turn, hand it off to Shepard. He dances through the hole and picks up a couple. And it'll be 2nd down for Perry at the 7-yard line.
Perry's bread and butter, power. That time they ran it off the left side. Did a great job cramming it up in there around that pulling guard. Now they got 2nd and 7. And like you said, they can still get the first down before they hit the goal line.
Perry just substituted Nazir Foster out of the game and brought in Caleb Hunley. This is his first action of the season tonight against McKinley. So Hunley on the left, Shepard on the right. They hand it off to Shepard. He bounces off defender, trying to get to the edge. He'll lose yardage. It'll be 3rd down for Perry all the way back at the 8-yard line.
Last time, Perry, 3rd and long or 3rd down, they rolled out right, was able to convert. Time before that, they rolled out left, was able to convert. So if I'm McKinley, I'm going to try to bring an edge pressure just to be able to stop that rollout.
Yeah, Treharn actually kept it himself and scored the touchdown for the Panthers on just what you talked about, that rollout pass to the right. And we're going to have a timeout on the field. And Perry's going to talk about it with 38 seconds remaining in the first half. And let's see here. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. But let's get into some of these scores and some of this information I got coming through here. Massillon 14, St. Ed 7, 7 minutes left in the second quarter. But this is the one that Louisville running back Owen Wilson has left the game. Non-contact injury. It was his knee.
Oh, man.
So he is out of the ball game between Hoover and Louisville. That game is tied at 7 at halftime.
Wow. We thought that was going to be a low-scoring, epic battle, and so far it is.
Northwest 10, Canton South 7, 48 seconds till half.
I thought that was going to be a good game, too.
And Minerva 24, St. Thomas 0, 3:22 left in the first half there as well. So here we go, 3rd down, 38 seconds, 40 seconds. They put 2 seconds back on the clock. Shepard to the right. And there's a penalty on Perry. That has got to be so frustrating to Coach Lino coming out of a timeout, and you're in 3rd and 7, and now you're back 3rd and 12.
Yes, that is so frustrating, especially in this situation. You're down 2 scores, under a minute to play. You're sniffing the end zone. You have all the momentum, and then you get a penalty.
So here we go, 3rd and 12. It's got to be 3rd and 11 from the 12. But they've got 2 receivers to the right. Shepard moved. They didn't call it. Treharn rolling out to his right. He's looking, throws it out into the flat, and it's caught. And he will be short of the line to gain for the first down. That was Foster, who was able to catch that in the right flat and get close to where he needed to. He is going to be 1.5 yards short. 20 seconds remaining in the half. It is 4th down and 2 for Perry from the 3-yard line.
Clock's ticking.
And I'm surprised Perry didn't get a penalty on that because Shepard fell forward. They need to hurry up, take a timeout or something.
Yeah, because
they finally take their timeout with 6 seconds left. They wasted a good 10, 11 seconds.
More than that.
Trying to figure out what to do there. I would have called the timeout immediately.
Yep. That was a great job with body control by Foster right there. I mean, he had to catch it, going against where he was running, turned in the air, came down, was able to turn his body back around, catch his balance, and go forward for another 3 yards, almost get into the line to get. So, I mean, just great body control by Foster on that last play.
And now, because they wasted so much time, like if they would have called the timeout, yes, that takes you have 0 timeouts left. But if you pick up the first down, you would then still have time to spike the ball.
Yep.
And give yourself one more shot at the end zone.
Yep.
So right now, 4th and 3, McKinley's defense knows that Perry needs to get into the end zone. They can't stop the clock unless they get out of bounds. Ball on the right hash. Perry breaks the huddle from the sidelines, and they're going to kick. They're going to kick a field goal. So on to kick for Perry, Price DiStefano. He is at the 11-yard line. A 21-yard field goal. Snapback, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. But you leave 3 seconds remaining on the clock. Maybe that's what Coach was thinking. If we picked up the first down, then we would try to go for it and use our last timeout. If we don't, we'll let the clock run out, take our last timeout, try to limit the amount of the amount of opportunity that McKinley would have if they kick the extra point.
But still, in that situation, I want to call a timeout because, like you said, just in case I get the first down and don't get the touchdown, now I can spike it, maybe still have a shot at the end zone before I kick the field goal.
Yeah. So Perry gets a 21-yard field goal from DiStefano with 3 seconds remaining on the clock, and you're telling your junior kicker right now.
Squib it.
Absolutely.
Squib the kick.
I'd onside it. I wouldn't even give it to the second level, because the second level for McKinley is Shad Davis.
And he's a punt returner, so he's dangerous in space. So
And you've got Britt's out there at the 35-yard line. They've got speed that I wouldn't want to mess with. I would 100% onside kick it and get those 3 seconds to run off the clock and go into halftime. Perry gets the ball coming out at half as well.
No doubt.
Also coming up at halftime, we will send it back to the station, get some news from Jeff Mears. We'll have first half stats, jump into some scoreboard action for you, and give you some scores from games in the area. So DiStefano up and the kick, and a low squibber that they're going to let go all the way back, and Hill's going to have a chance to return it across the 20. He's got a gap across the 30, 35. He's got the edge, 40, and finally goes out of bounds. Pushed out by Perry's number 23, Everett Daughtery. And that'll be – who's blowing the whistle? So, interesting. Instead of going into the locker room, McKinley's actually just going to go over here in the corner.
Well, I mean, that's smart because it is a country mile to that locker room. That's one of my least favorite parts of coming to this great facility, is that you have to walk damn near a half mile to get to your end zone. And I mean, to get to your locker room. And the locker room is about as big as a closet on top of it. So, no, it's good. It's a nice night. You know, you guys can air out, relax, or not cramped up in a hot, small, damp locker room. You don't have to walk a country mile. Make your adjustments. This is actually pretty smart.
Yeah. So there you go. Halftime here at Wakefield Stadium. McKinley leads Perry 20-10. We're going to take a break and then send it straight back to the Q92 studio and get the news from our good buddy Jeff Mears. Halftime score, McKinley 20, Perry 10. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, The Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders with 6 locations: Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Lilyfield Lane Flowers and Gifts, located at 2830 Cleveland Avenue South, is your go-to florist for every occasion: homecoming, prom, weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, and memorials. Stop in and take a look at our unique gifts and beautiful custom floral arrangements. We deliver in the Stark County area. Give us a call today at 330-754-6998 and mention Q92 to receive a 20% discount.
Are you looking to add beauty, privacy, and year-round greenery to your property? Smith Evergreen Nursery is a family-owned local grower of premium evergreens, perfect for privacy screens, windbreaks, and stunning landscaping. They grow what they sell, so you get healthy, long-lasting trees straight from the source. Call 330-575-2479, visit smithevergreen.com, or find Smith Evergreen Nursery on Facebook. Smith Evergreen Nursery, farm to yard.
Looking for quality glass and mirror work you can trust? At Cardinal Glass and Mirror in Canton, we handle it all: residential, commercial, and industrial. From window replacements to custom glass and custom mirrors, we've got you covered. We're a small, locally owned business, and we live by one promise: if we won't put it in our home, we won't put it in yours. Call today, 330-478-0075. Visit us online at cardinalglassmirror.com or stop by at 1857 Whipple Avenue Northwest in Canton.
From the newsroom, I'm Jeff Mears with this halftime edition of Q92 News. A man accused of kidnapping a woman at knife point at a Jackson Township hotel makes his initial court appearance. 38-year-old Jamie Triplett of Canton was arraigned today in Massillon Municipal Court on charges of aggravated robbery, kidnapping, disrupting public services, and aggravated menacing. He pleaded not guilty. Bond was set at $1 million. Triplett allegedly forced a 31-year-old woman into a vehicle at the Roadway Inn on Sunset Strip Northwest Wednesday night. The following morning, they were found at a hotel in Perry Township. The woman was not injured. Triplett is scheduled to return to court Thursday for a preliminary hearing. He was convicted of rape and kidnapping in 2012 and released from prison in February. A Canton woman is acquitted of a disorderly conduct charge stemming from the assault of her 11-year-old daughter. 34-year-old Paige DeShong was found not guilty Wednesday during a bench trial in Canton Municipal Court. Judge Dennis Barr dismissed a count of obstructing official business. DeShong was accused of attempting to fight a woman who was under arrest for beating her daughter at a park on Stark Avenue Southwest in Canton. 19-year-old Destiny Scott of Canton told police the girl slapped her in the face. She was sentenced to 18 months in prison after pleading guilty in July to a reduced count of aggravated assault. Scott was given credit for 98 days served. A jail cell is now home for an East Canton man who pleaded no contest to 1 misdemeanor count each of cruelty to companion animals and sexual conduct with an animal. 29-year-old Joseph Domer entered the plea Wednesday in Canton Municipal Court. Judge Mary Falvey sentenced him to 180 days in jail. 60 days were suspended on condition of 2 years good behavior. Domer also is not allowed to own a pet. According to court records, Domer took part in a sex act with a canine in April 2024. The dog nearly suffocated. Domer and 25-year-old Jonathan Cunningham of Alina were sentenced in July after pleading guilty to similar charges involving a different dog. The activity occurred from October 2024 to May of this year. A Stark County grand jury has indicted a man who allegedly shot at an Alliance home. 42-year-old Derek Miller of Alliance was charged with felonious assault, improperly discharging a firearm at or into a habitation, and having weapons under disability. He pleaded not guilty today during his arraignment in Common Pleas Court. A pretrial hearing is scheduled for Wednesday. On July 28th, Miller allegedly shot at a home on East Ely Street. 2 people were inside when the residence was hit by gunfire. The grand jury declined to indict 2 other suspects. Kurt Conrad submitted a surprise resignation email to board members August 6th as CEO of the Stark Area Regional Transit Authority. Thursday, the board approved a severance package. The repository reports Conrad will receive about $100,000 over a 6-month period. As part of the deal, he must drop any legal claims against SARTA and not work for a public transit agency in Stark or an adjoining county for 6 months. Conrad's letter said he would be leaving in August 2026. A week later, the sides agreed he would leave immediately. Conrad had led SARTA since July 2009. He did not give a reason for his resignation. More news after this.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
A former treasurer of the Carrollton Exempted Village Schools pleaded guilty to theft in office and records tampering. 50-year-old Amy Spears will be sentenced October 7th. She admitted improperly using nearly $28,000 while serving as treasurer between September 2022 and October 2024. Spears wrote checks to herself for tuition reimbursement for college classes she did not take. She also wrote herself a $5,000 check. Spears was placed on paid leave April 1st. She may no longer serve in public office. Charges are pending in connection with a fatal crash in Rootstown Township. Highway Patrol says a car was southbound on New Milford Road September 12th when it failed to yield at a stop sign. The vehicle, driven by a 25-year-old Bristolville man, hit a sewer truck at Talmadge Road. Neither driver was hurt. A passenger in the car, 81-year-old Dolores Chiappini of Aurora, died at the scene. The truck is owned by the city of Kent and was being driven to Edinburgh auctions by a city employee. The patrol says they were not at fault. An East Palestine man is headed to prison after pleading guilty to child pornography charges. 75-year-old Robert Rogers was sentenced to 5 years behind bars today by Columbiana County Common Pleas Judge Scott Washin. He was given credit for 23 days served. Rogers pleaded guilty in July to 17 counts of pandering obscenity involving a minor. He was indicted in January. The charges resulted from a June 2024 incident in which he allegedly possessed child porn. Rogers will spend 5 years on probation and must register as a Tier 2 sex offender. 19 years in prison is the sentence for an East Liverpool man. Investigators say 32-year-old Joseph DeSaro was involved in drug activity throughout last year. He was sentenced this week in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court after more than 8,000 fentanyl pills, over 30 grams of powder fentanyl, and more than 90 grams of cocaine were found during multiple investigations. Investigators also seized $15,000 in suspected drug proceeds. A man is charged after a child is injured in a shooting in Warren. Police responded to St. Joseph Hospital Thursday after a 2-year-old was brought there with a gunshot wound. Officers concluded the child was playing with a gun when it went off and they lost part of a finger. The alleged incident occurred at a home on Prospect Avenue Northwest. Police discovered 5 dogs at the address that had been neglected. 23-year-old Norrell Frank was arrested and charged with endangering children and 5 counts of cruelty to companion animals. He pleaded not guilty during arraignment today in Warren Municipal Court. Frank was ordered to have no contact with the victim or have any animals. His next court appearance is slated for Thursday. We'll return you to the stadium for the second half of tonight's game, but first a look at the forecast. For the overnight, mostly clear skies with a low around 56. Mostly sunny Saturday with a high of 85. For Q92 News, I'm Jeff Mears.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency is a locally woman-owned travel agency helping you see the world. Lisa books any and all types of travel, honeymoons, all-inclusive, cruises, Disney, along with bachelor and bachelorette trips and destination weddings with low deposit, and you set your monthly payments. Mention Q92 to get $50 on board cruise, credit, cabin, or $150 off your non-canceled vacation or honeymoon. Call 330-428-0610. Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency. If you don't go, you won't know.
Start your day right at Judy's Family Restaurant, your new favorite spot for home-style breakfast and friendly faces. We're locally owned and operated with a team that brings you years of experience to every plate. Whether you're craving fluffy pancakes, sizzling bacon, or a hot cup of coffee, we've got you covered. Come taste the difference at Judy's Family Restaurant. Call 234-360-3096 and follow us on Facebook for daily specials and updates. Judy's, where breakfast feels like home.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. On completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Wakefield Stadium here in Perry. McKinley leads 20-10. I'm sorry, I just smashed a pizza faster than I think I've ever eaten one in my life.
That was impressive.
my jaw hurts from chewing so much, but thank you to Perry and their administration here. Always taking good care of us, bringing us some Krause's pizza for us here.
Can't beat that at all.
Halftime. No, not at all.
That's
so
the best.
Thank you to them. But yeah, halftime here. McKinley 20, Perry 10, and we've got some stats and some highlights thanks to our buddy Jake back at the station. You all know Jake from the morning show. So
thanks, Jake.
Yeah, let's get into some of the stats, and we can go through the scoring drives and play some first half highlights.
So first downs, McKinley had 11, Perry had 5. Both teams had 26 plays apiece. The biggest differential right now is the passing game. McKinley has 134 yards passing. Perry only has 53. On the ground, McKinley has 98 yards. Perry has 87. Both teams are pretty even in the penalty battle right now. McKinley has 2 for 10 yards. Perry has 1 for 5 yards. So pretty nip and tuck besides that big disparity in the passing game. You saw DJ Britt and Darius Hill both get involved early and making big plays for that McKinley offense.
All right, let's get into some of the scoring drives for you from that first half. First, McKinley, right off the bat, 5-play, 80-yard drive. Took 1:45, capped off by a 54-yard touchdown run from Kylan West. McKinley going heavy on the left side of the line. Turn, hand off, and into the end zone for the score. A 1-yard touchdown run. Well, that wasn't labeled correctly.
That was one of them.
Which one? Which one was that?
Was that your second score?
I'm confused. All right, let's see what the second one is. McKinley with the football inside the RG drag red zone, and first play throws a slant route into the end zone for the score. An 8-yard touchdown reception. All right, maybe these were from last week. Let's see what this one. Let's see what this Perry highlight.
Let's check it out.
Snap fade route uncovered in the end zone was Darius Hill.
I mean,
so miscommunication from Perry.
Nobody was in 8 yards of him. Wide open.
That says Perry TD1. Come on, Jake. I gave you all these props. All right, let's see what the final play action boot.
I'm running it.
Culver lined up to the right of Hayden. They hand it off to him, and he reaches again for the goal line. And this time he gets in. McKinley with the 1-yard touchdown run. Zion Culver. All right. I'm confused, but here we go. First quarter, Kylan West, 54-yard run for McKinley. That put them on the board first. They failed on the 2-point conversion. McKinley then gets the ball. Isaac Brooks with a 2-yard touchdown run. That drive, 9 plays, 73 yards. And they did then go for the 2-point conversion and converted that. Perry Cameron Treharn with a 6-yard touchdown rush. The kick from DiStefano was good. That was an 8-play, 66-yard drive for the Panthers. McKinley then responded very quickly. Darius Hill, a 1-yard touchdown pass, and then that 2-point conversion was no good. And then right as time was set to expire at the end of the first half, Price DiStefano hit a 20-yard field goal. That drive, 13 plays, 57 yards, and that gets us to the 20-10 score that we are at right now.
So,
go ahead.
What are you thinking that Perry has to do starting the third quarter to be able to shrink this lead that McKinley has?
Oh, this is interesting. You're asking me the coach. I like it. I'm going to try to get my 2 receivers, Foster and Wilson, involved a little bit more, even if it's end arounds. try to take that extra man out of the box. So right now everything's inside. McKinley knows it's coming inside, or even working off of play action a little bit more to try to suck that extra defender and keep him in the box. If you're going to look to pass, I'd run a post or a slant behind my linebackers and try to get my speedsters with the ball in their hand. I even like when they bring Hundley in. We haven't seen him do a whole lot, but it's a guy that McKinley doesn't know a whole lot about because he hasn't played at all this year.
Right.
And try to confuse the defense a little bit that way. But yeah, I'm going to try to get Wilson and Foster involved a little bit more in my offense, and then try to open it up and get Shepard and Lemon to run the ball. I think they just need to be a little bit more balanced. Right now, they're really run heavy.
Great job. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. So far, Perry has only shown that their passing game is off of play action and boot action. They haven't dropped back in the pocket for any true passes. And we saw them a few weeks ago just running basic hitches. You saw, Warren giving them a lot of cushion on the edge and giving it to their guys, and they were able to make plays. McKinley sometimes given that same cushion, but they're not taking advantage of it. So I would look to get those guys involved early in this third quarter as well, soften up that box and bring in number 0 to ground and pound, and then eventually hit them up top with a play action.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we've seen Perry be at their best. And this is the third game that we've covered from them this year, is when they are balanced, when you don't know if it's going to be a run or if it's going to be a pass. That's when they have been at their best. Did it show how many run to passing plays that they had in here? Let's see the box score. Trying to figure out how matchup. Here we go. Total plays. So they've run 13 that's McKinley. They've run 4 passing plays.
4 passing out of 26.
Yeah, and they've run the ball 22 times.
Yep.
So they're very unbalanced, and I think they need to get more balanced. That's where they've had the most success throughout this season. Something else, third down efficiency, very, very close with both teams. 2 of 4 for McKinley, 2 of 7 for Perry. So McKinley's winning that one.
Yep.
Both teams 1 for 1 on fourth down efficiency. Where's the other one we talked about? Turnovers. McKinley has thrown 1 interception here tonight. So they're losing that one. And 2 for 10 on penalties, 1 for 5 for Perry. I'd call that one a wash at this point right now. Nothing that leans one way or the other where you're going to get a huge benefit of it. We haven't seen really penalties cost too many teams or, either team too much in this first half, except
that
for
one where Perry.
They're 1 penalty. They have 1 penalty for 5 yards.
And that was a critical situation.
It really hurt them inside the 10-yard line with the end of the half coming up. So we'll talk a little bit more and get you ready for second half action. When we come back, we're going to take a break. We'll run through some scores for you right here at Wakefield Stadium in Perry. Halftime score, McKinley 20, the Perry Panthers 10. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com. An official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
When it comes to sports, Sam Berkwin brings the heat. Catch the Sam Berkwin Show weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live on the WDPN Facebook and X pages, plus the Q92 YouTube channel. From the Browns to the Buckeyes, the Guardians, Cavs, and your local high school teams, if it's making headlines in the sports world, Sam is talking about it. It's the local sports talk you want. The Sam Berkwin Show, weekday afternoons on AM 1310 WDPN.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And back here at Wakefield Stadium, Ryan Keller, Antonio Hall with you. Let's check into the scoreboard. We just had a big one come in. 88-yard kick return to start the third quarter for the Hoover Vikings. Hoover now leads 14-7 over Louisville.
That's how you start a half right there.
It really is. This is another game, too, that we didn't talk about in the first half or pregame, but Fairless in Orrville. That game is tied at 14. So the Fairless Falcons trying to get a big win against Orrville. Minerva 24, St. Thomas 0. East Canton, Coach Spider is trailing 14-0 to Ridgewood at
Ridgewood's
halftime.
undefeated. They're tough this year.
Green is losing to Jackson. Jackson 17, the Green Bulldogs 7. Maslin. Go ahead.
Green could start 1-4 this year. That's crazy.
Yeah, and they've had, their first 3 games, I think the teams they played are all undefeated.
Right. Right.
It's just talk about starting with a terrible, like the Browns schedule to start off this season is just atrocious. And now you've got very similar with the Green Bulldogs.
Definitely.
All right. Maslin 21, St. Ed 7, Tuslaw 14, Triway 14.
Nice.
Lake 28, Glen Oak 7. That's at halftime. Strasburg 35, Sandy Valley 0. Tough year for the Cardinals.
They're young.
From Sandy Valley. We saw them to start the season off. Alliance 35, Central Catholic 7. That's in the second quarter. East and Shaw. Both those are at 0. I don't think there's any score reported for that. It still says first quarter.
Gotcha.
Northwest 10, Canton South 7.
Still 10-7.
Still 10-7. Did we miss any? Are there any teams we missed? Because
I think so.
The what I use, it just shows Stark County scores. So if there's team outside of Stark County, I don't tend to get it on there. But yeah. So there's some scores for you. Halftime here, McKinley 20, Perry 10, and McKinley and Perry both warming up here tonight. Right now for at halftime. Boy, a brain fart and a half right there. I could not get the words to come out of my mouth. Let's see. Next week, we got some other games coming for you. Green at McKinley will be on the FM. That'll be our FM game of the week. Coach and I will be at Jackson for Perry and Jackson. Hoover at Glen Oak, Northwest at Lake. That should be a really good game too.
Yes, it should
be.
See
what Northwest does against, maybe want to say bigger, but they are a little bit bigger school than Northwest. So that one will be an interesting game as well. All right. So we're getting ready for second half action here as both teams warm up. If you're Perry, you're getting the ball to start the half. I think it's important for you to get some points on the board. They can't start this half the way that they started their first
couple
drive.
3 and outs. Not like McKinley has the momentum right now. Perry, you have to at least get a drive going, flip the field. Bare minimum, make McKinley drive a long field to try to score if Perry doesn't score this first drive. So this is very pivotal for this momentum starting the second half.
And, we talk about looking down on the field and seeing the way that each team looks. Man, McKinley has a completely different energy.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight, even more so than what they had last week against Glen Oak.
Right. Yeah, they got some bounce to them. There's energy. The guys are high-fiving. Like, this McKinley sideline is alive.
So this opening drive will be not just important for Perry to get point. They need something to get the crowd back into the game, get the momentum going again in their favor, because it's kind of quiet here tonight.
Definitely.
At least coming from the other side, the McKinley fans who are here. There's actually a lot of people here. For McKinley tonight traveling, and it's not a far drive.
No, right up the street, right down Tusk.
Right down Tusk. Yeah. So, Perry needs to find a way to get the momentum back on their side if they want to have a chance in the second half. If you're McKinley, is there much you need to change?
I don't think so. I just think, you need to make sure that you're making solid tackles. You're not giving Shepard and Lemon those second and third chances for yards after contact. But other than that, man, McKinley's looking good both sides of the ball.
we talked about, total plays. Each team had 26, and McKinley is 50-50 passing to run. They have 13 passing plays, 13 rushing plays. They ran 98 yards on those 13 rushes at 134 for passing compared to, as we mentioned, the four passes for Perry, and they're 4 for 4 throwing.
Wow.
4 for 4, 53 yards throwing.
Wow.
They've run the ball 22 times.
Right.
And I know last week you had a young quarterback, threw 3 interceptions. They had 2 fumbles, 5 total turnovers. But man, you can't. What's it? You can't something your nose despite your face. What's the saying?
That one I forget.
I'm
usually pretty good at the sayings.
Can't nose to spite.
The old Google machine. Or is it Chat GPT?
Does Pop know it? Oh, there you go. You can't cut off your nose to spite your face.
Thanks, Pop.
and that's kind of what they did.
Yeah.
Not throwing the ball as much in that first half.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens here as both teams are now back out onto the field, and we get you ready for second half action for McKinley. Darius Hill on the kickoff, and have they switched the return man? They have. They've moved Foster and Wilson up to the 20-yard line. So we'll see if that second line lets the ball through, because the first couple kicks they haven't. So the run up and the kick, and they will give them a return from the 20, 25, 30. Ooh. And he gets immediately brought down as he crosses the 35-yard line. Chad Davis comes through and makes a great open field tackle on the return from Foster. And Perry will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Number 6 is the last guy I want to see if I'm in the open field and coming to tackle me. Chad Davis brings the noise every time.
So here we go. Third quarter underway. Perry comes out, sends their tight right, wing right. Is that Lemon in the backfield? They turn, hand it off to Jonathan Lemon. He's got a little seam, gets across the 40, and then is chopped down, coming up and making the tackle, DeJuan Robinson.
Did you see him stop completely and then
in the hole?
Yeah, in the hole and then regain momentum immediately? Like, I've never seen. That's very rare for a high school back to be able to stop that fast completely and then pick up all his momentum back. Very impressive.
3 receivers in a straight line on the right-hand side, and they hand it off to Lemon over the left. He gets to the 45, then sets up 3rd and short for Perry. I don't think I've ever seen that formation. Instead of doing the trips bunch, where you've got 1 receiver up and 2 in the back, they had all 3 receivers in a line just off the right tackle for Perry.
Yep.
Oh,
and that's why
they got penalized for it. That's why I don't see it.
That's exactly why. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage.
When I say things like that, and then I'm proven to be correct, it makes me feel
you know what you're talking about.
So what should have been a 3rd and short is now a 2nd and 11 for Perry. So they need to get a good drive to keep themselves in the game, and they hurt themselves with their second penalty of the game. Now they go that tight trips bunch on the right-hand side. Treharn takes the snap, and he play action, swings it over into the left side. That is caught by Jaden Wilson, and it puts them almost back to where they were. It'll be 3rd and a long 3, 3rd and 4 for Perry.
And that's what we talked about at halftime. Just taking the cushion the defense is giving you. That time it was a slant instead of a hitch. If the quarterback gets up and gets on his numbers, he probably can get that first down. But good job by the receiver going down, getting it off the ground, and coming up with a solid catch for a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, they don't have to be all big games when you throw it. You just use your passing game to kind of move the defense around. And there he was. They caught him again. Offsides on McKinley. That was number 10, Zamir McClellan. See the left end? Yeah, lined up in the neutral zone and giving Perry a free first down.
That's huge for Perry. That is a big bailout by McKinley.
Yeah, I looked up and was just getting ready to say it that he looks like he's lined up off sides, and the official threw the flag. So a first down for the Panthers. They're going to switch their offensive play call up a little bit now as they re-huddle. Jonathan Lemon in the pistol. Single wide out to the left and to the right. Lemon now moves to the left of Treharn in the shotgun, and they send Foster in motion. They fake the end around. They've got a man open down the sidelines, and that's Lemon across the 30, almost breaking a tackle, getting down to the 22-yard line. A great play call to get Lemon some open space on the sideline.
That was a beautiful scheme by Perry to be able to get their running back the ball in space. Great catch by Lemon, and he does what he does in an open field, eats up a bunch of yards. Now Perry is driving, approaching the 20-yard line. They're very methodical, and they're doing it both with the run and pass.
Yeah, 26-yard reception for Lemon sets them up 1st and 10 from the 22. Back to pass is Treharn. He's looking, throws the slant through the hands of the intended receiver, Nazir Foster, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, usually the sure hand Foster comes up with that. Definitely a catchable ball, just goes off his hands. And Perry very lucky that ball wasn't intercepted by McKinley on that tip pass that went straight up in the air.
I like the fact, though, that they're coming out and they're letting their young quarterback sling it around a little bit. Their sophomores out there. I mean, you have to learn. You can't shelter him.
Right.
You got to let him throw the ball. We've seen him have a ton of success through the air this year.
Yep.
So 2nd and 10 for Perry. Lemon lines up to the left. The wing goes in motion from right to left. They hand it off to Jonathan Lemon. He's just going to ride the coattails of his offensive linemen and fall forward for a short gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Panthers.
Yep, 3rd and about 7, it looks like. Just past the 20-yard line. Perry's been known to run the ball in this situation now, especially if you think this is 2-down territory. You run it, see what you can get, and then maybe 4th down, you have your rollout play. It worked good last time they were down on this part of the field, or you just give the ball again. We'll see what Perry does.
And I saw their kicker, DiStefano, warming up, and he was hitting 35, 40-yarders during halftime. So this is within his range.
Definitely.
As Treharn takes a snap, rolls out to his right. He's got pressure, throws it out in the flat, and it's caught. And picking up the 1st down, he extended the football, was Jaden Wilson, and had it knocked out of his hands out of bounds, but right at the line to gain, and he picks up the 1st down in the RG drag red zone.
That was a great little crossing route, or not even a cross route. He was the inside receiver, and he just ran just a flat route to the sideline. Quarterback recognized him in the flats, got it to him. Great pitch and catch, 1st down.
And again, a great job from Treharn rolling out to his right, saw that defensive end coming up field and stopped dead in his tracks to give himself room to throw the football. 1st and 10 on the 11-yard line. Lemon to the left of Treharn. They hand it off to Lemon. He breaks a couple tackles and gets to the 10 and is finally brought down on the play by Amir Mitchell. And they will give him 1 yard on the carry. And Perry can still get a 1st down if they need to. Very similar situation there into how the first half ended.
Definitely. Don't know how Lemon got out of that tackle that time. I blinked my eye and he did some sort of magic. But, man, it's impressive to watch this kid start and stop on a dime.
Give him the nickname Nightcrawler from X-Men.
There we go.
So Jonathan Lemon takes the handoff. Oh, no, he's the lead blocker. Treharn's going to keep it, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Coming up and making a great stop, we'll say his name again, Isaac Brooks for McKinley, and it brings up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, that play wasn't fooling anybody. They tried to use the running back now as the lead blocker and let the quarterback get up there. Isaac Brooks sniffed it out, was able to get back there in the backfield and make a big play for this McKinley defense, causing the 3rd and long.
So Perry, 3rd and 10 from the 11. Both Foster and Wilson line up to the right. Lemon to the right of Treharn. He's going to boot to his right. Step, throw a fade to the corner of the end zone, and it's picked off. Coming down with the interception in the end zone. I'm going to mess his name up again.
Nas Brown.
Yeah, just get rid of the LA.
Yeah, it's called Nas.
Nas Brown with the interception in the end zone, and Perry's got a player down, and I believe is that Wilson?
Looks like it.
No, that's Foster. Wilson I see on the far sideline I believe that's Foster who went up for that catch and was fighting with Nas Brown. What an interception from Brown in the end zone for McKinley.
That was a great individual effort by Nas. Both him and the receiver were fighting for position. Nas was able to go up and just make a play on the ball. Just before that play got started, I was just about to say the quarterback doesn't need to force it here. They're in field goal range. If it's not there, just throw it away. And before I get it out my mouth, they said hut and they threw an interception.
Because a field goal would have only put them down by a touchdown.
That's a touchdown, right. So like they're in great position. You don't have to force that. And I know he was trying to throw it to the back corner of the end zone, only to where his guy can go, but the ball didn't get there. It kind of sailed on him, and the cornerback made a beautiful play on that ball.
Great positioning from Brown. Really, really great positioning. And Foster did everything he could to try to rip that away or knock it down as he makes his way up and is walking off the field on his own power, which is great to see.
Right. But now, I mean, Perry, you had all that momentum generating.
Yeah.
You're about to score, at least make it a one-score game, either with a kick or with a touchdown. Now you give the McKinley ball back at their 20-yard line, no points, and this McKinley offense has been great so far. So big series for Perry's D. Try to get McKinley off this field.
Yeah, and you mentioned going out to the 20. I mean, it was only a yard or two in the end zone, but if he comes down with that interception on the 1 yard line, then at least you've got McKinley pinned back a little bit. But because it was in a touchback, McKinley's got great field position at the 20. They don't have to worry. Their playbook is wide open.
First rule in football, after sudden change, go deep.
So we'll see what they do here as they send 3 receivers to the left side, single wide out right. Kylan West behind Hayden. They turn, play action, throw the slant route. That's caught at the 30-yard line by DJ Britt and should move the chains for McKinley, and it does.
Yep, nice play action pass. Again, fitting that slant right behind the second level. DJ got inside position on the defensive back. Good pitch and catch. McKinley moved the chains on first down.
7:11 left in the third quarter. McKinley 20, Perry 10. We'll get some more scores coming to you here shortly. As McKinley's got 3 receivers to the left, Britt by himself on the far side. Hayden takes the snap. He looks, swings it out in the left. West has room to work. If he can get through that level, he could be off to the races and just gets tripped up. Boy, if he'd have got through that, he was gone. Does pick up enough for another first down for McKinley.
That time, the play design was actually ran right into the blitz of the defense, so it was designed perfectly. They had 2 guys coming off the edge. They swung it out to the running back. Nobody was home. He had blockers in front. That was a beautiful dial-up by McKinley's offense.
So 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line for McKinley. Hayden in the shotgun, turns, play actions, throws to Britt on the slant. Again, this offense right now is what Perry should be doing to help open up their running game. The quick slants and the bubble routes. Yep. And McKinley's just taking great advantage of it, picking up 7 on that reception from DJ Britt.
Yeah, very methodical, taking what the defense gives you. We're using a lot of play action to get that second level to suck up to the line of scrimmage. And when they do, they're fitting the ball right behind them to DJ Britt on this drive.
So McKinley crossed midfield on that play to the Perry 49. They've got 2 wings in the game. This is usually their run formation. See if they play action off it or hand it off to West. And they hand it off to West over the left edge. Breaks the tackle across the 45, out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And another McKinley first down. They're just methodically dinking and dunking down the field.
And I tell you what, Perry is not going to be able to tackle Kylan West with arm tackles. You got to put your pads on that kid. And the past couple times, Perry's reaching when they need to be fitting up with their pads.
I think that interception in the end zone took a huge amount of wind out of their sails, and now they just need a big play to get it back. 1st and 10 for McKinley. West to the right of Hayden in the shotgun. Play action.
Going
He's
deep.
looking to his right. He's got a man battling, not looking for the ball, and no penalty.
He turned at the last second.
He did.
He turned it, I mean, right at the nick of time, that defensive back turned towards the ball.
And that was Foster guarding Hill one-on-one coverage, and the incompletion brings up 2nd and 10.
That is not an easy dude to cover one-on-one at all. But that was really good coverage. I know the McKinley fans are upset right now, but that was really tight coverage by Foster.
5:29 left in the third quarter. Hayden in the pistol with West. Turn, hand it off over to left-hand side. He cuts it back, breaking tackles, getting all the way down to the 35-yard line. A good hard run by Kylan West.
Again, breaking 3 tackles because Perry's trying to arm tackle. You have to wrap up and wait for the cavalry to get there and gang tackle this kid because he runs behind his pass.
And both wings come out of the game, and they put their little speedster Elijah Finn substitutes in. So
watch that guy. Number 0 is dangerous.
We'll see if they spread it out on third.
About 4.
3rd and 4 for McKinley. Ball at the 36-yard line. 3 receivers to the wide side right, single wide out to the left. West to the left of Hayden, and they're back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Hayden's going to roll out to his right. He's going to go down. A sack coming through, 75 for the Panthers. Antonio Salazar with the initial contact. Coming up to clean things up was Caleb Lawan, and that forces a 4th and 10 for McKinley, and they're going to leave the offense out onto the field.
Watch the quick kick.
This is a great position on the field for it, too.
Pin them deep. But that time, Perry brought the heat. First time they were able to get the sack, they had them bottled up, both on the edge, and when he's tried to scoop the middle, they was able to corral him and get him down. And it was huge on that 3rd down.
So Hayden takes a couple steps back, and he does do the great kick.
Great kick.
And that will bounce and take a big roll. And were they able to save it? They were not. Great effort from McKinley's cover team. But that will be a touchback. And Perry's defense did what they needed to do on that drive and not allow McKinley to get any points. And they will have the ball 1st and 10 on the 20.
That was so huge by that Perry defense. I mean, to get that sack at that moment, that was so crucial. Now let's see if the offense can capitalize.
Yeah, their offense, the first drive of this half went down the length of the field. If you're just joining us, and Perry threw an interception in the end zone from the 11-yard line. So now they're back at their own 20, 1st and 10 with 350 remaining in the third quarter. McKinley leads 20-10.
They keep limiting that running back.
They take the snap, play action, hit the slant, catch, breaking a tackle across the 30. That's what they need to do more and more often. Jaden Wilson with the quick slant and change of direction, picking up the 1st down and moving the chains for Perry.
I guess Perry's offense heard you. They said last time McKinley had the ball, he said that's what Perry needs to be doing. And now Perry's doing it.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers. They break the huddle, send one receiver to the wide side right. That's Foster. Single wide out left is Wilson. Foster moves in motion from right to left. They play action to him. They were looking for that miscommunication between Wilson and Treehorn, and that was the same play that they ran earlier that Lemon had the big long gain on, and he initially looked for Lemon in the flat, and it wasn't there. Good job for McKinley's defense.
Great job. McKinley's defense is doing a great job with this motion from Perry. I mean, when they motion, they're rocking and rolling the safeties. The defensive backs are in great communication. That's so critical when you're trying to play a team who's trying to motion and outflank you.
So Perry now with tight right, wing right, single wide out left. Connor Shepard into the ball game at tailback. They hand it off to him, and Connor Shepard has not been that effective here with the defensive front for McKinley. That was number 5, Isaac Brooks, whose name we've called a lot, and Antonio Stevens. These guys are racking up tackles here today.
Those are 2 dudes, like I said, and 2 of the best inside linebackers in Stark County, possibly Northeast Ohio. And Antonio's just a junior. Isaac Brooks, he's coming off a couple of shoulder injuries the past couple seasons. Glad to see him healthy and out there cracking heads.
Yeah, Stevens leading the pups and tackles with 10. Brooks with 8. Back to passes, Treehorn. He's looking. He's got to get rid of it. Throws it across on the drag route, and that will be incomplete and force a 4th down for Perry.
Great series for that McKinley defense. Great job. I mean, they had him bottled up with coverage. Wasn't giving anything up in the run game. McKinley's defense continues its dominance.
And injury on Perry, that intended receiver is slow to get up. And I always find when I see sportsmanship on the field, those are things that I like to call out. And after that hit, number 44, Colin Hinkle, went and checked on the injured player to see if he was all right. So I love seeing that kind of stuff. I'll always call it out when I see it. So big props to Colin Hinkle.
Definitely great sportsmanship. You know, Hinkle's a high character guy. I mean, all these guys are high character guys. So, you know, just to see him extend the sportsmanship, because ultimately the health and safety of everybody on the field is the utmost important. So,
and a lot of these guys all know one another. They grew up playing pee-wee football with one another.
Yep.
As the injured player makes his way up, that's Ryan Hapadalt, who walks over to the sideline on his own power, and it will be a 4th down for Perry with
2:36 left in the third.
There we go. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Amen.
So on to punt for Perry is Jaden Wilson. He's standing at his 19-yard line, takes the snap, and a great high punt and good coverage from Perry. It takes a bounce and will roll out of bounds at the 27-yard line, where McKinley will have the ball 1st and 10. So we talked about Perry coming out and needing that big stop and getting the ball back, but McKinley's defense stood strong and made it that Perry wasn't able to do anything on that drive. And now the Pups have a chance to make this a bigger lead here as they lead 20-10.
Exactly, and with the Pups' big playability, you know that they could score at any moment on any given play and really break this game wide open.
So we'll see what McKinley does. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line, 26-yard line.
Are you lining up in quads? Okay.
No.
Okay, the quarterback. I'll say, wow.
So Hayden makes his way behind center in the pistol, turn, hand it off to West over the left-hand side, and a good carry from West. I think he came into the game averaging like 6.8 yards per carry. He's going to add to that. Actually, that was not West. That was Culver with the carry. So giving West a little bit of a rest. And you don't really miss a step when you swap out your tailbacks. High snap, was able to get brought down. Was terrible grammar, was able to get brought down. He was able to bring that snap down, hand it off to Culver as he picks up a couple. I'm going to call myself out too. So
I hear you. That good old Warren JFK education.
I get so excited. I do say it's going to be, I say that a lot. There's things it's funny because like I'll go back and listen
Join
to my
myself
and be like, yes, I try to learn and get better. So 3rd down for McKinley, 3 receivers to the wide side right, single wide out left, Culver to the left, back to pass. They're throwing the fade route, and that's short and knocked down. That was a great job, though, from DJ Britt, who turned into a defensive back there and stopped Jonathan Lemon from intercepting that pass.
Jonathan Lemon, that was textbook coverage. I mean, stayed in his hip pocket. He made the turn once he saw the receiver's eyes get big, and he almost came down and picked that ball. Like you said, good job by DJ Britt making sure he didn't turn it into a defender at the last second and jarring that ball loose.
And the Perry's defense forces a 3-and-out. And Darius Hill on the punt for McKinley. Jonathan Lemon standing at his own 38-yard line. They need to get this snap back. 2-1, finally get it away. And a great punt. Lemon looks to field it. He takes it. Almost makes a man miss. But coming through and making the tackle for McKinley, I believe that was DeJuan Robinson again, who is just all over the field.
The man-child. I mean, that was beautiful punt coverage. Great job breaking down. Got 1 yard, 1.5 yards in the return because he was right there in his face. Good job by McKinley's punt coverage.
So Perry with the ball, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. This has been a nonstop third quarter. We haven't had any stoppages in this third quarter. We are 1:10 remaining in the third. So Perry breaks the huddle. Is that a different guy back there at quarterback? And it is. That was Foster running the Wildcat, gets across the 45-yard line down to the 46. So switching things up a little bit, trying to get the ball in Foster's hands any way they can. And I believe he's going to stay in the game at quarterback.
We even saw him complete a pass a few weeks ago at Warren.
We did.
When he lined up a Wildcat.
So 2nd and 5 after the carry from Foster. They send 3 receivers to the right, single wide out left. Wing on the left-hand side, empty backfield for Foster. Man in motion is Lemon. He comes across. They fake the Lemon. Foster keeps it himself up the middle, picks up the first down, keeping his legs going all the way down to the McKinley 45-yard line, and a first down for Perry.
I like what they're doing here. You know, Perry's changing it up a little bit, throwing a little curveball. Now you have an extra guy at the point of attack with the Wildcat, and it's paying off for him so far this drive.
Foster still in at quarterback. 19 seconds left in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for Perry at the 45 of McKinley. 2 receivers to the right. Man in motion, that's Lemon. They fake it to Lemon again. Foster trying to get around the edge, and he's going to get brought down. Coming through, Shad Davis with the ankle tackle. Great job coming through and forcing the gain of 0 on the carry.
Yeah, and if he doesn't make that tackle, Foster's gone out that left side down the sideline. So, you know, you don't want to run it to 6 aside for a reason, and he just showed you why.
And that was the fastest third quarter I have ever been a part of. Fourth quarter action when we come back. The McKinley Bulldogs lead the Perry Panthers 20-10. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
The weather might be getting cooler, but Tasty Cream on Navarre Road is just heating up. Open all year, Tasty Cream is ready to serve you fresh-made specialty burgers, Stark County's best conies, deep-fried mushrooms, crispy French fries, and so much more. To top it off, their ice cream selection continues to grow. Special flurries, homemade root beer floats, amazing brownie sundaes, and over 20 flavors of hand-dipped ice cream. Order online at tastycream.com or check out their Facebook and Instagram pages for events happening each month.
This is head coach Renzi Parnell from the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
Welcome back to Wakefield Stadium. Ryan Keller, Antonio Hall with you for McKinley and Perry. Fourth quarter action just about to get underway. Foster still in at quarterback for Perry. Perry now moving from right to left. They hand it to Foster. He has nowhere to go. Tries to bounce it outside. That is not happening. And looks like a player from McKinley who made the tackle was cramping up a little bit at the end of that play. That was Amir Mitchell. But a loss of 1 on the carry, and it's a big third down for the Panthers.
Big third down. Prior to the third quarter, Perry had something going with that Wildcat offense, getting 2 big first downs. Now they're behind the chains. Let's see what Perry does on this 3rd and long.
Got some more score updates for you. We missed one here a little bit ago, but Hoover dominating now 28-7. 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter over Louisville. Treharn back in at quarterback for Perry. There's a penalty marker on the play. He's going to let this one fly down the sidelines, and it's almost intercepted. We'll see what the penalty is.
It's in the area of holding.
Illegal shift on Perry, and I imagine that penalty will be declined.
Yep.
And Coach Parnell does indeed decline the illegal shift penalty. So it will be 4th and 11 now for Perry, just underway here in the fourth quarter. Great explanation from the official, too.
Very thorough.
Why they called that.
Very thorough.
Write that down. Great explanation.
Yes.
So 4th down for the Panthers, trailing by 10. They're going to bring the punting unit onto the field. Jaden Wilson is the punter for the Perry Panthers. Back deep for McKinley is Darius Hill. And kick is away, an end-over-end kick. Fair catch called for and taken at the 14-yard line. And McKinley will have the ball 1st and 10.
1st and 10. Good job by the defense. McKinley still sitting on that 2-score lead. So really don't have to do anything extravagant right here. Continue to be methodical. You've been extremely balanced. I mean, almost to a T with your run pass play option. Continue to do the same. Move the chains. Get first downs.
Got ourselves a tight ball game between Northwest and Canton South. I got almost back-to-back score updates. Northwest 17, Canton South 7, end of the 3rd. And then Northwest 17, Canton South 14, 10:37 left in that ball game. McKinley with the football. They hand it off over the right-hand side. That is Kylan West with the carry, and he will lose 2 yards on the carry, brought down by Perry's Mason Heel.
That time they tried to run the zone play to the right side. Kylan, he tried to bounce it outside, but the safety was there setting the edge, forcing everything back up inside. And Perry's did a good job, get a body on the body and getting Kylan down before he can get that head of steam rolling.
So McKinley breaks the huddle. West in the pistol behind Hayden. Wing in motion now. They turn, hand it off to West. Big hold, cuts it up the middle, breaks the tackle. He's off to the races across the 30, 40, 50, 45, 40. Cuts it back across the 30, 20, now to the middle of the field. 10, 5, touchdown McKinley. Kylan West with the ball was on the 12. The 88-yard touchdown run. Yeah.
Man, that kid is special. He's special.
And there is an injury way back at the Perry 28-yard line. And we'll see who the injured player is. It must have happened back behind the play.
Had to.
As he makes his way up. That is number 5 for the Panthers, Isaiah Payne, the 5'10", 160-pound junior who's able to walk off, and it looks like he's holding that right arm. So hopefully he's okay as well. But a great run from Kylan West, got down to the opposite 30-yard line and trying to run him down, I believe, was Foster. And he forced West to cut it all the way back.
Yeah.
So 88 yards, but it technically was a lot longer than that with the distance he had to run.
Right. And great job, too, by the McKinley receiver running downfield and trying to stay with Foster between him and the ball, which allowed that cutback. So great effort by his teammate being able to spring him free late and get the touchdown.
So what a turn of events where, Perry was inching closer and closer and closer. And then, you talked about the fourth quarter stall. It says it happens when you change quarters.
Yep.
That, the offensive drive tends to stall out. But they were McKinley able to take advantage of it, and big boom run for the score. And they are going to try Nope. They were fooling everyone. They had Shad Davis down like he was going to take the snap on the kick, but McKinley switches and goes trips bunch to the right with Hill in at quarterback. And he's going to keep it himself, and he will get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And that's actually a really, really big 2-point conversion. Huge. Because now it makes it a 3-score game instead of a 2. It would have been at 16. Now it's at 18.
Yep.
So a big 2-point conversion for the McKinley Bulldogs. And now they lead 28-10 with 10:05 left in the game. We're going to take a break. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
Lilyfield Lane Flowers and Gifts, located at 2830 Cleveland Avenue South, is your go-to florist for every occasion: homecoming, prom, weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, and memorials. Stop in and take a look at our unique gifts and beautiful custom floral arrangements. We deliver in the Stark County area. Give us a call today at 330-754-6998 and mention Q92 to receive a 20% discount.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
Welcome back to Wakefield Stadium. Ryan Keller and Antonio Hall with you tonight as the McKinley Bulldogs lead the Perry Panthers 28-10 with 10:05 left in the ball game. Got a score update for you from Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. The Massillon Tigers lead 21-7 over St. Ed's, end of the third quarter. So fourth quarter action just getting ready to start from Tiger Town.
Massillon hanging on to that 2-touchdown lead.
We do have a final coming in. Minerva 31, St. Thomas Aquinas 0. That's our first final of the night.
4-1, baby.
And they have a big game next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Minerva?
Think so.
Who they got?
I got to look now. I forget.
Darius Hill approaches for the kickoff.
And it's taken by Foster. And he breaks a tackle and not able to get away from the second guy. He gets across the 30-yard line. And Perry will have the ball 1st and 10 from the 30.
Big drive for Perry right here.
Let's see. Schedule. They have
another guy down for Perry.
Oh, West Branch.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be a really good test for
Yes.
Minerva against the West Branch Warriors.
Yes, it will be.
And they are currently winning 42-0 over Howland.
West Branch is always tough.
And there is an injury on the field for Perry. And while they tend to him, we will step away and take a break. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Looking for quality glass and mirror work you can trust? At Cardinal Glass and Mirror in Canton, we handle it all, residential, commercial, and industrial. From window replacements to custom glass and custom mirrors, we've got you covered. We're a small, locally owned business, and we live by one promise. If we won't put it in our home, we won't put it in yours. Call today, 330-478-0075. Visit us online at cardinalglassmirror.com or stop by at 1857 Whipple Avenue Northwest in Canton.
This is head coach Spencer Lino from the Perry Panthers. You're listening to High School Football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And we're back here at Wakefield Stadium. That injured player for Perry was Nazir Foster, who walks off on his own, but his left ankle seemed to be bothering him a little bit as they hand this one off for Perry to Connor Shepard. Shepard rumbling, stumbling, tumbling, and then taking a huge hit at the end of that play from Dewan Robinson, who comes up and lays out Connor Shepard. Mind you, Connor Shepard is 5'11", 215, and Dewan Robinson 5'5", 150.
He don't care.
He doesn't care. But a first down carry from Shepard, and Perry now 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Shepard lines up to the left of Treharn. He drops back to pass. He's got pressure coming off the edge. He eludes it and is able to roll out to the right, keeping his eyes downfield, throws to the sideline, and incomplete pass. Almost bringing that one in was Jaden Wilson. But I don't think Connor Shepard was too happy about the hit he took the play before, because he had a huge block on that play to get Treharn to the edge.
Yeah, he saw Treharn was about to roll out right, so he sealed that defensive end, and he sealed him with an attitude. You saw his head snap back. That was a great block by Shepard.
So the incompletion forces a 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line. Once again, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ryan Keller. He's Antonio Hall. Man in motion now for Perry, and Treharn's going to keep it himself. It was a designed quarterback run. However, it looked like there was miscommunication between Shepard and Treharn on that play, and they both wanted to go through the hole first.
Yeah, but definitely miscommunication. And Treharn saw that left side A-gap opened up. There was nobody there, but they were too busy trying to figure out who's going to run the ball to see it.
So a loss of 1 on the carry, and this is a huge third down with 8:50 left in the game. And McKinley gets the ball. You know, they can just take their time and methodically move the ball. They don't have to just keep the clock running at that point. So big third down, trips to the left for Perry, single wide out right. Treharn back to pass. They throw it out into the flat. Incomplete, intended for Jonathan Lemon. And even if he caught it, don't know if he was going to get much further than that, because coming up from McKinley was Isaac Brooks, and it forces the punting unit back onto the field for Perry, and Jaden Wilson sets a punt.
Yeah, another great defensive series by McKinley. It seems that this defense gets better as the game goes on. We saw it last week. We're seeing it this week. These guys are really pinning their ears back now and having fun out there on the field.
So fourth down for the Panthers. Snap is back, and the kick is away. Again, an end-over-end kick, and that is taken at the 22-yard line. He's trying to get to the right edge. He finds a little gap, and then is finally brought down by a host of Panthers, but a great return from Darius Hill, and it takes McKinley out to the 37-yard line to start this drive. So first and 10 for the McKinley Bulldogs. 8:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. Trent Hayden, the senior quarterback, makes his way out onto the field, and I believe that's Culver lined up at the tailback position. Two receivers to the right, single wide out left, ball on the right hash, and they hand it off to Culver, and coming up and filling that hole very, very quickly for the Panthers was Caleb Lawan, and Culver gets no yards on the carry.
Man, Lawan was shot out of a cannon on that one. He read that all the way and pulled his trigger and was downhill immediately. Great job filling that hole.
So 8 minutes exact left in the fourth quarter. Make sure to follow us on all of our social medias: Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube. We're everywhere. Make sure to give us a follow. We post pictures and interviews from every game that we cover on the Q92 Sports Network. Second and 10 for McKinley. Hayden takes it, hands it off to Culver over the left-hand side. Gets across the 40-yard line to the 42-yard line. And we'll set up third down.
Yeah, that time they ran it off tackle left. Left side of the line was able to get enough push to where they were able to get a hat on the hat. And he fit up in there nicely and was able to get a nice positive gain. Now it's a third and medium.
So McKinley breaks the huddle, sends three receivers to the right side. That is Finn, Britt, and Hill. Single wide out, far side left. Culver behind Hayden in the shotgun. Turns, hands it off to Culver over the left edge. And he will be short of the line to gain for the first down. And now you're stuck with a difficult decision if you're Coach Parnell. You're up 2 scores.
It's not difficult to me.
Fourth and short.
I'm going for this. Keep my offense on the field. Continue to grind this clock. I'm going for it.
And they bring in one of their heavies for that wing position. Whenever they bring in Legacy Lee, he usually lines up at one of the wings. And we've seen them mostly run out of that formation where they do 2 wings, one wing on each side. So we'll see what they do here. They might just take the timeout and let some time run off the clock, as they've got 5 seconds remaining. And I believe that's what we're going to get. We're going to get a timeout from McKinley with 6:07 remaining in the fourth quarter. This timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. And we're going to take a break, and you're going to hear from Friends and Family Credit Union. McKinley 28, Perry 10, 6:07 left in the fourth quarter. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
High school football exemplifies the true meaning of teamwork. At Friends and Family Credit Union, our team of local friendly professionals offer the same true spirit for our members. With a wide array of products from vehicle loans to personal loans, family secure checking with ID Protect, mortgage, home equity line of credit, and more. For over 60 years, we have the game plan for your financial well-being. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations, online or mobile banking. Now, more than ever, it's time to bring a friend into the family.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And we're back at Wakefield Stadium, 6:07 left in the fourth quarter. McKinley breaking the huddle, fourth down, fourth and a long 2 for the Pups at their own 45-yard line.
Big play for Perry here.
And they might do. We'll see if they do that little pooch punt thing again or if they actually run a play. They do run a play. Play action. Hayden's going to keep it himself, and he is going to be.
That was a busted play.
I think he's going to be short of the line to gain.
That was a busted play.
And he does not pick it up. It'll be Perry ball, 1st and 10 at the 46. Got some score updates for you coming in. Final Alliance 42, Central Catholic 7. Hoover having their way. They are most likely going to remain undefeated. 31-7 over Louisville. 6:03 left in that game. And you mentioned earlier that Green might start off with 1-4. It's 24-21 Jackson in the fourth quarter.
How much time is left?
I don't know yet. I got to find out.
Okay.
So Perry with the ball here, trailing by 18. They hand this one off up the middle to Jonathan Lemon. And he'll pick up maybe 2 on the carry. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Panthers with 5:48 remaining in the game. Perry breaks the huddle, sends 2 receivers to the wide side left, 2 to the short right. And back to pass. Treharn, he throws this one, and it is caught. That was caught by Evan Spurrell, and he will be knocked out of bounds. Maybe a yard.
He might have it. I think he has it.
See where they spot it.
Yep, they're giving it to him.
And they do. He picks up the first down.
Yep.
So clock stops as they move the chains. Or maybe just because he got out of bounds.
Yeah, I think he's out of bounds. We'll see if they started on the spot. Nope, he was out of bounds.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Treharn takes a snap, turns, hands it off to Lemon over the left-hand side. Lemon breaks a tackle into the second level across the 20. Still on his feet, across the 10, 5, and into the end zone for the touchdown. What a run from Jonathan Lemon. 35-yard touchdown scamper with 5:19 left in the game.
Beautiful run by Lemon. Oh, he cut back about 3 times in that run, broke about 3 tackles. Again, this guy just has a knack for keeping his legs churning and moving as the play continues to go, and he finds pay dirt. Great job by Lemon.
Boy, oh boy, once he got into that second level, he hit the afterburners and was just off to the races. So we'll see what Perry does here. They keep the offense.
I go for 2, yep.
To make it a 10-point game, they're going to try to go for 2. They bring in Connor Shepard and Caleb Hunley in the backfield. Treharn takes a snap. They hand it off to Shepard, and he walks into the end zone practically untouched. And the Panthers make it a 10-point game with 5:19 left in the fourth quarter.
Panthers still have life.
They do indeed. And we'll see what McKinley does when we come back. 5:19 left in the ball game. It's McKinley 28, Perry 18. Site School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
Are you looking to add beauty, privacy, and year-round greenery to your property? Smith Evergreen Nursery is a family-owned local grower of premium evergreens, perfect for privacy screens, windbreaks, and stunning landscaping. They grow what they sell, so you get healthy, long-lasting trees straight from the source. Call 330-575-2479. Visit SmithEvergreen.com or find Smith Evergreen Nursery on Facebook. Smith Evergreen Nursery, farm to yard.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Wakefield Stadium. 5:19 remaining in the ball game. McKinley leads 28-18. Coming off of a 35-yard touchdown run from Jonathan Lemon.
And that was a great run.
Wow.
You going for the onside here?
No, probably not. Too much time left.
Kick 'em deep.
I think they have all 3 timeouts left, too. but they still need 2 scores. And a deep kick as kind of confused there why that official waved it dead before the ball got into the end zone.
Yeah. Oh, man, I would love for him to hang that up around the 10-yard line just to let it bounce a little bit and make that returner decide if he wants to return it or not, because there was a quarterback back there because they were going for their safe, their hands team. So I make the quarterback think if he wants to jump on it. And by that time, he might have 2 guys down there that can recover the ball.
So it goes into the end zone for a touchback. So McKinley has the ball.
It's not me. Do you hear that phone ringing too?
It's been ringing all game.
Dominoes.
Don't know where it's coming from either. I'm going to strangle myself with this headset cord. Here we go. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, 5:19 remaining. McKinley with the football. Kylan West in the pistol behind Trent Hayden. Turn. Hand off to West over to left-hand side. And he's going to get brought down for a loss. I think that was number 54 for the Panthers. 55, Jordan Jones. Great job there, limiting Kylan West to a loss of 1 on the carry.
That hasn't happened many times tonight. McKinley tried to run zone left, maybe outside zone, and Perry's defense did a great job just stringing it out. And by that time, second level was able to come, convert, and make a big play at the line of scrimmage.
Do you take the chance throwing the football here, trying to catch Perry's defense sleeping a little bit, expecting a run?
I mean, I would not pass it.
They don't need to because Kylan West has room. He's across the 30, across the 35, picking up a huge first down. Jonathan Lemon with the touchdown saving tackle. And West comes up a little limping. And he's calling for a sub. So Culver is going to come into the game as Kylan West gets up after that big first down run and limps his way over to the sidelines.
That was such a huge tackle by Lemon. Lemon getting it done on both sides of the ball, both at running back and at cornerback. You saw a couple great passes that he defended, and what a just picture-perfect textbook open field tackle to bring West down. If not, it's a touchdown.
So 1st and 10 for McKinley. We are down to 4 minutes remaining in the ball game. Perry needs a stop. They turn and hand it off to Culver over to the right-hand side, and he's going to be tackled on the play. Coming up and making that tackle for the Panthers. Turn for me, buddy. I think that's Foster. It was Nazir Foster coming up and keeping Culver to a gain of 1. And McKinley takes their 2 wingbacks out of the ball game, brings in their speedy wide receivers in Elijah Finn and Marquise Jackson. And they're going to send 3 receivers to the left. Finn, Jackson, and Darius Hill. DJ Britt one-on-one on the short side of the field with McKinley moving left to right. Hayden in the shotgun. Culver behind him in the pistol. Turn, hands it off to Culver over to the left-hand side. He's going to be hit and brought down on the play by Lawan after a gain of 3. Across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Now 3 minutes remaining in the game, and you have to think that this 3rd down is the ball game here. 3rd and 6 for McKinley.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge play for Perry. They have to get off the field right here. I know McKinley wants to run the ball to keep the clock running, but the way my quarterback has looked tonight and my receivers, I won't be afraid to air it out to get the first down.
So here we go. 3rd and 6. The McKinley faithful making some noise as McKinley sends 3 receivers to the left, single wide out to the right. Hayden back to pass. He's looking, throws, and that is caught. What a catch in traffic from Darius Hill, and just enough to move the chains for the first down.
Might be the ball game, folks.
Hill was in the middle of a Perry Panther triangle.
Yeah, he was in the middle of a hornet's nest. Yeah, I'll say that.
They're going to measure it.
The spot, yeah. I mean, I was thinking, that spot looked pretty favorable.
So we'll see. The officials were conversing over on the sidelines as the chains were getting ready to move. And we'll see if they measure it. Takes 2 seconds to measure it. We're wasting more time sitting here trying to look at it from 45 yards across the field.
Yeah.
Just bring the chains out and measure it.
So from where the official was standing on our side, he was definitely in front of the marker. So I think this is a good job, at least getting a measurement to see if it truly was a first down. Because it was close.
Again, they're still looking at it. The officials are on the far hash marks from where we are, and they're looking across the whole length of the 3/4 of the field. And they're saying it's a yard short.
They look kind of short. But I thought because of where we are in our angle being, I just thought, okay. But no, it looked short on the field.
So McKinley is going to bring the punting unit onto the field. 4th and a half of a yard. Not even.
I look for McKinley to do a hard count here or a snap down with their guys up front. Try to draw Perry off sides, get my offense back on the field.
So 2:24 left in the game. And McKinley on to punt. And they're going to let the clock run down because he didn't get the clock. They're going to reset. Coach Parnell was trying to get him to reset the play clock. So if they do that, then they need to put more time back on the game clock.
Yep.
Because they started it with 24 seconds on the play clock. And now we're going to have another conference from the officials. And our official
evaluator
has left. He's missing all the excitement.
Right. This is what you need to be evaluating right here.
So they're putting 2:24.
If I'm Perry, I'm calling a timeout. I'm not going to let him run 30 seconds off the clock when I'm down 2 scores. I'm calling a timeout right here.
So 2:24 on the game clock. They put 25 seconds back on the play clock, and they're going to when they blow the whistle, both clocks will start. So by the time they kick, there will be 2 minutes remaining on the game clock. They let this run down to 1 second before they snap it. Oh, and they snap it early. McKinley's going for the fake. McKinley goes for the fake. Let's see where this one's spotted at.
It's going to be close.
And based off of the spot from the official by us, it looks like he just picks up the first down. We'll see if they measure it or what do they do here now.
Measure it.
And they're going to bring the chains out, and they are going to measure this. And from where I am standing,
it looks like
he had to get to the 47-yard line. And that ball is right on that 47-yard line hash marker. And they just moved the football back a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. They are going to measure this one.
Drum roll, please.
See if we can zoom in on the phone and see exactly. There we go. Let's see here.
What do you think? He get it? Didn't get it? What do you think?
I think he got it.
Yep.
He got it by half of a football.
Got it. First down. Gutsy called by the Pups right there on first down to go for the fake at midfield. So if they don't get it, Perry gets it in great field position down by 2 scores with 2 minutes left.
And because of everything going on, I didn't even get to talk about the play. I don't think that up man was ready for that snap.
I don't think so either.
He looked surprised when that ball hit him in the chest, and he just took off and fell forward. So big gutsy play, a fake punt.
That was to Antonio Stevens, the up back, linebacker, running back. Great job right there, getting enough for the first down.
So 1st and 10, we're under 2 minutes left in the ball game. McKinley leads by 10, 28-18. All 3 timeouts for Perry. They hand it off to Culver. Culver breaks it back into the middle after he was going towards the edge. He'll pick up 5 on the carry. And if you're Coach Lino, you need to start calling some timeouts.
Yeah, definitely.
But again, they let 6 seconds run off the clock before they called that timeout. And this timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family.
Man, gutsy call by McKinley on that 4th down.
All right, let's see if we got some more scores coming back through. We do. A final: Hoover 31, Louisville 13. So the Vikings stay undefeated, and the Leopards drop their first loss of the season. Jackson 31, Green 21. 4:37 left in the 4th quarter. Massillon 21, St. Ed 7.
Wow. Haven't scored since the 1st quarter, either one of them.
Yeah. And that's all the score. Actually, hold on. Got some more here for you. Well, let's. Fairless Falcons. Rough second half for them. Orville 48, Fairless 21.
Wow.
The Green Bulldogs, there's no give up in them. 31-28 Jackson in the 4th quarter.
Wow.
Lake 35, Glen Oak 14. Northwest 17, Canton South 14. And we're back here at Wakefield Stadium. Hayden in the shotgun. He takes the snap, hands it off over the right-hand side, breaking tackles across the 40. That's Shad Davis with the carry. And, we saw them do this last week against Glen Oak, too. They bring in a different running back who might have some fresher legs, even though Shad has been playing a lot of defense here tonight.
Right.
But that first down and a timeout from Perry, I don't know if there's much they can do here except for hope for a turnover. 1:26 left in the game. McKinley 28, Perry 18, and Perry has 1 timeout remaining. Someone is a very popular.
Yeah. It's like someone is a sought after individual.
Phone's been ringing all night long. All right.
But how huge of an asset is it from McKinley to have 4 or 5 running backs, and 2 or 3 of them you don't even have to touch until the 4th quarter?
Yeah.
I mean, you really can wear teams down. And the fact that they've been so balanced this game, and now, Perry, they're sucking wind a little bit, and now you put a fresh pair of legs back there to just grind this clock out. I mean, McKinley has a lot of talent on this offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, McKinley, 50 total plays in the ball game so far. They have 31 rushing attempts, 19 passing attempts, 11 of 19 passing, and 235 yards on the ground for McKinley tonight. 1:26 left in the game. Hayden takes the snap, hands it off to Davis. Davis over the right-hand side, picks up a couple, and the clock will continue to run. And we'll see if Perry takes their final timeout.
So great job by McKinley's offensive line, who's opened up tremendous holes, giving Hayden time in the pocket. They're trying to finish blocks downfield. Chris Davis, offensive line coach, and the offensive line, hats off to you. You guys played great tonight. Now McKinley's lining up in my favorite play in all football, victory.
And they're going to let the clock continue to run down. 47 seconds left. There's 5 seconds remaining on the play clock. Hayden takes the snap, takes the knee. And that should be it. They waited long enough. Perry took their last time out.
Why not? Why not? Can't take it with you.
Oh, yeah.
Can't take it with you.
I don't know. I never understood just to elongate the game.
Yeah. Well, you never know. It might be a bobble snap. Your guys jump on it. I mean, it's a shot in the dark, but it's a shot. You never know.
You still need 2 scores.
Why not?
So I imagine they'll just take one more knee of the being 3rd down. And that would set, there's one more knee for McKinley as they get back into the victory formation. Whistle for play. Hayden takes the snap, and that's going to be it.
That's
that
it,
will
folks.
be the ball game. They don't have to run another play. There's 30 seconds left on the clock and 40 seconds left on the game clock or on the play clock. So that'll be it. That's your final score from Wakefield Stadium. The McKinley Bulldogs 28, the Perry Panthers 18. We're going to step away and take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about this, give you some final scores from around the area, and give you some stats as well. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com. McKinley 28, Perry 18.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency is a locally woman-owned travel agency helping you see the world. Lisa books any and all types of travel, honeymoons, all-inclusive, cruises, Disney, along with bachelor and bachelorette trips and destination weddings with low deposit, and you set your monthly payments. Mention Q92 to get $50 on board cruise credit cabin or $150 off your non-canceled vacation or honeymoon. Call 330-428-0610. Lisa's Dream Getaways Travel Agency. If you don't go, you won't know.
Start your day right at Judy's Family Restaurant, your new favorite spot for home-style breakfast and friendly faces. We're locally owned and operated with a team that brings you years of experience to every plate. Whether you're craving fluffy pancakes, sizzling bacon, or a hot cup of coffee, we've got you covered. Come taste the difference at Judy's Family Restaurant. Call 234-360-3096 and follow us on Facebook for daily specials and updates. Judy's, where breakfast feels like home.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. On completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Wakefield Stadium. Your final score, McKinley 28, Perry 18. Coach, we saw Perry kind of struggle a little bit with their offensive identity tonight, and I think that's what really hurt them. They did not get to that passing game sooner.
Yeah, they definitely got the passing game going, but it took them to the second half. McKinley, they were able to be very balanced with their approach offensively. That was able to make Perry play them honest, both in the run and pass, and they were able to pick their shots. So, Perry struggled a little bit offensively. McKinley did, and ultimately that was the difference in the ball game.
And I'm looking at some of the final stats of the game, and Perry ran 52 total plays. They threw the ball 16 times and ran it 36. McKinley ran 54 total plays. They ran the ball 35 times and passed 19. So by the end of the game, it kind of evened itself out because there's a big disparity there at halftime between run and pass for Perry.
Right.
But I just think it was a little bit too late because you saw their offense open up a little bit more in that second half than you did in the first half.
Yep. And then the interception,
that killed.
That killed them, because that could have got it to a one possession game. And then McKinley was able to go down and score. So when McKinley needed to execute, they did. Big plays all night, both on the ground and in the air. Perry just didn't have enough manpower to stop McKinley's high-powered offense.
Yeah, and McKinley's defense, again, playing lights out, getting big plays when they needed to. They held, let's see, I can get individuals here. Connor Shepard, see here. Perry ran the ball 16 times for 78 yards. Lemon had 8 carries for 55, but he got 36 of those yards on 1 carry. So, the 2 big runners for Perry were held to, 78 and 55 yards. And that's just a credit to the defensive front, 7, 8 for McKinley.
And DeJuan Robinson.
Can't
forget about him.
Coming up and filling. Yeah, let's see the leading tacklers for McKinley. Antonio Stevens, 12 tackles. Isaac Brooks, 10 tackles.
Both your inside
DeJuan
linebackers.
Robinson, 9 tackles.
Yep.
Just coming in. Their defense was swarming all over the place, and they were good to go. Next week, we got another good one.
Yep.
Perry and Jackson. The Polar Bears were leading. Green was making another comeback. I do have a final. Massillon 21, St. Ed's 14 final.
So now we know what Massillon is this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy too, because if you go to certain websites, they do the computer rankings, and you can they're not 100%, but you can follow it, know where they're at. That Massillon was out of the playoffs leading into this week.
Right.
And now beating St. Ed's, even though they only play 3 teams from the state of Ohio this year, that's going to throw them right back up there.
That'll get you a lot of points.
Yeah, and just hope St. Ed's wins out.
Yep.
And you get 2-3 wins in the state of Ohio, and you're in the playoffs.
Who's Massillon play next week?
I'll have to look it up. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. But yeah, I mean that's a huge win for the Massillon Tigers. A lot of people were saying, is this a legit Massillon team? Are they as good as they've been in the past? Now they've established themselves as still one of the premier teams in the county in Northeast Ohio, beat number 1 St. Ed's, very talented St. Ed's team. So hats off to the Tigers for getting it done in Tiger Town.
Yeah, and Coach Moore is going to have his guys ready. I mean, him very, very well. You know him a lot better than I do. Like, I only know him through calling his football games. But he is always so focused and has his players ready whenever they need to be.
Yep.
So kudos to Massillon, a big win tonight over Lakewood St. Ed's, and we'll see. Apparently my internet decides that it doesn't want to work tonight now. But we'll find out who they play against. Coach, any final thoughts on tonight before you go down and catch Coach Parnell and some players before they get on the bus?
Oh, let's hope. The biggest question was McKinley's front 7 versus Perry's offensive line. I think McKinley obviously won that battle. Very impressed with this McKinley defense still. Very impressed with the amount of players that they have on offense that can get the job done. It's going to be a big one next week for McKinley too. Huge one. So looking forward to it.
So I'm going to go over some final scores and some final stats. Coach is going to go down, get some interviews with McKinley, and make sure to follow us on our social: Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, all the social medias, Q92 and Q92 Sports. And Coach, I'll see you down there when I finish things up.
Sounds good, brother.
All right, my man.
All right.
That's it. Coach Antonio Hall. And we'll go through some final stats for you here tonight for McKinley and Perry. McKinley, 19 first downs to Perry's 11. McKinley was 2 of 9 on 3rd downs, 2 of 3 on 4th downs, especially that big fake punt there at the end of the game. Perry 3 and 12 3rd down conversions, 1 of 1 on 4th downs, 419 total yards for McKinley, 273 for Perry, 170 passing yards for McKinley, 118 for Perry. McKinley went 11 of 19, 1 TD pass, 1 interception. McKinley 9 of 16, no TD passes, 1 interception. 249 yards on the ground for McKinley, 155 for Perry. Perry had 2 penalties for 10 yards, McKinley 3 for 15. And we'll give you some individual rushing numbers. Kylan West, 13 carries, 192 yards, and 2 touchdowns, averaging 14.8 yards per carry. Just continuing to elevate that yards per carry average that he had. I think it was 6.8 coming into tonight's ball game. Team high 456 yards and 6.8 yards per carry. He also had 2 touchdowns on the evening, so it gives him 5 on the year, and that's just going to make his yards per carry average very, very high going into next week. For the Panthers, Nasir Foster 4 carries for 12 yards, Shepard 16 for 78, and Lemon 8 for 55. Receiving for McKinley, DJ Britt 4 receptions for 96 yards. Darius Hill 4 for 50. Kylan West had the 1 reception for 14. Elijah Finn 1 for 10. Nazir Foster for Perry had 2 receptions for 7 yards. Jaden Wilson 4 for 39. Jonathan Lemon 2 for 64. We talked about McKinley's defense. Antonio Stevens, 12 tackles on the evening, and Isaac Brooks was just all over the field tonight for McKinley. For Perry, Caleb Lawan, 9 total tackles. Connor Shepard with 6. He had 2.5 tackles for loss as well. Naz Brown had the 1 interception for McKinley, and Darius Hill receiving on kick returns, had 2 returns for 64 yards. Let's get into some final scores for you from around the area as well. Northwest 24, Canton South 14. I do not have a final yet for Jackson and Green. Let's go somewhere else and see what we can find here for Jackson and Green. Jackson 38, Green 28. So the Polar Bears look like they're going to pull away with that one. Orville 48, Fairless 21. Northwest 17, Canton South 14. Alliance a winner tonight, 42-7. Hoover remains undefeated, 31-13 over Louisville. Ridgewood 28, East Canton nothing. Minerva a winner tonight, 31-0 over St. Thomas. Lake 35, Glen Oak 21. Mentioned Massillon 21, St. Ed's 14. Sandy Valley falls tonight to Strasburg 42-7, and Triway knocks off Tuslaw 21-14. All right, let's see if we can try this one more time. See who Massillon is playing next week. They are playing a team from Ontario. It says Football North, Clarkson, Ontario. So that's who they have next week. McKinley advances to 4-1 on the regular season. They are going to face the Green Bulldogs next week. Perry falls to 3-2 on the season, and they will play Jackson next week. Coach Hall and I will have that game as well. Make sure to follow us on all of our social medias: Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Threads, TikTok, Q92, and Q92 Sports. You can find us all over. And like I said, Coach Hall's down getting some photos and some interviews after the game tonight. And make sure you can see all that stuff on social media in the next day or so. That's going to do it from Wakefield Stadium. Once again, I want to thank my broadcast partner, Antonio Hall. I am Ryan Keller. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Friends and Family Credit Union, RG Drag, and of course, Sarshone Auto Group for making it for us to bring you high school football, 7 games every Friday on the Q92 Sports Network. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and we will see you next Friday night under the lights on Q92radiosports.com. Stay safe, be kind, hug your loved one. For Antonio Hall, I am Ryan Keller. God bless. Have a good evening.